Yo, welcome! I haven't done this type of stream in a long time, so I'm losing my step. But we are going to be doing some farming for this campaign. It is going to be a half stamina campaign for the event quest that will last until the end of the anniversary period, which should be next Friday. Not tomorrow, but the one right after. Let's go ahead and do this. So, as usual, let me know if the sound is fine, even though no one ever let me does. And we'll begin our game by reviewing our beginning resources. So, there's no real measure of seed count here. But bear with me. We are going to be farming 4 attack seeds today. And it seems we are starting with 94 full drinks and 127 majors. I already used my minors a while ago since I've been farming beforehand. But it's going to be quite a long period of time for farming. And we're around 51, almost 52 million coin. Also, welcome Azinu. Oh my god, Lazy Crow! Amazing. This is the first time in like 10 billion years someone actually pointed out the sound is fine. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you for actually pointing it out. Anyway, now you'll get to see how miserable I am with my actual farm. Because, let me tell you, I did have a guaranteed farm clear before, but then after Anvari got his Evo, I decided to build a team around him to maximize the coin reward as well, since all free quests reward coin. And it's it takes a good amount of time longer because I'm using Anvari, but it's still doable, for sure. Alright, so it is going to be an Anvari support with the Invaders C booster for a 10% bonus in C drop rate, as well as a 50% drop rate in coin. And as you can see here, let's go this way. We have 2 Invader C boosters, plus the Outlaw C booster and the Crafter's Workshop C booster, which will total to an additional 40%, so that's nice. Everything else I've invested towards rank EXP, and where I couldn't, I invested towards coin. Let's do this. Oh, right. So, thoughts on this? I am investing on affiliations for, what's it called? Rule makers right now, strictly so that I can boost Oz's all-range bestowal, because it's not guaranteed with the setup. Unfortunately, as you can see here, I can't actually bring 4-star Smoky God to guarantee the rates of everyone, and that's just because of the team cost. If I reach a rank 130, maybe I can be able to fit him, but that's going to be quite a while from now, so I'll just have to make do with the fails. You're grinding HP Blossoms. Oh, let me just begin the quest, actually. You're grinding HP Blossoms, so you can use them to max out your Oz and Yasuyori. Yeah, they're close enough. So for most people, you are likely going to be not farming this quest, the Shinigama quest. And that's fine, because most people mostly care about blossoms. My decision is to farm for seeds, and I can elaborate on that as we go on. Let's just get into the swing of actually farming first, because I feel like I've been talking too long for what's supposed to be a farm game. Or rather, too much non-farming. So these 2 first 2 phases are guaranteed, conveniently. It's the 3rd phase that's a bit tricky, but as you can see, Anvari does a busted load of damage that he's 4-weapon fine. This is where things become tricky. So there's a chance of Oz failing here, a very tiny chance, but it's still there. And there's also a chance, or it's pretty much like I will never be able to kill Ramo in this 3rd turn, so I have to whittle him down for the next few turns. And as a matter of fact, we'll get to it, but if Anvari can get his charge up, which, you know, he pretty much always will, by phase 4, then if he's not possessed, I can just blow it up and win on turn. Very nice. That's the fastest I can do for this. As we'll soon find out, that is actually not going to be the majority of cases. Did a sheer Hawkmoon HP Blossom grind on the day they gave out 50? Right. Well, you have other favorites, I'm sure, so just dump them on whoever or save them for whoever. Right, let's move on. So the gameplay strat here is I'm going to be using 7 drinks at a time before I back out, because then my inventory will be full by then. Sorry, not 7 drinks, 7 stamina majors. In the timeline for the stream, there's no target goal for drinks to be used. Rather, the target goal is just 3 hours. So it's 7 p.m. when it began. I'm gonna close this stream maybe a bit later than 10, just because I've been talking so much in the beginning. So let's aim for like 10:15, 10:10, something like that. So the majority of time, Anvari actually gets possessed. I got lucky twice in a row, so that's pretty good. And if he gets possessed, then he actually drops all of his amps from Welcome Mugen, which is bad because that means that you won't be able to wipe him on the turn after. Oh boy. This one. Something new. I updated my playlist. I've been eager to share it for a while. Yeah, there we go. Raincoat 6. So normally I would actually be streaming a farm campaign for, if you know me for the past few years, I usually do like several in a row or like a few weeks in a row until I run out of drinks. Unfortunately, I am very unlikely to be able to stream that much, at least for the first week. Maybe I can schedule more next week, but right now, I've got quite a bit on my plate for this channel. Ooh, look at that. More Wakan dying. But yeah, I've got to prepare for the discussion stream that's happening on Sunday. I think it's just going to be Zalgus that's joining. Maybe Harvey and maybe Irby, but for both of them, they're like likelier no than yes. And Milk is straight up just not coming. Honestly, after you finish HP Blossoming Walter, you don't think you're gonna HP Blossom anyone else. I mean, HP Blossoming is an interesting choice in the first place. All your go-to units either use Limit or Break if you don't boost your HP. For the most, I feel like HP Seed or HP Blossom, it's pretty much just a giant meme. Like, I would never really intentionally invest in HP Seeds except for just to show off my favorites. When I do get them, of course, I'll put them on tanks, but I'm like, the moment I'm done maxing them up from the respective farm quest, that's when I like never touch that HP quest again because you're just better off bringing everyone's damage up. All the beach and fries with the more they have abandoned you. Really? The heck? Do you need mine up? Okay. I can put mine up if you want. The only reason I switched off was because I would figure everyone put it up the beach and fry, or what's it called? Who would we even be farming coin right now? What the heck? But if you want me to put them up, I only switched them off because Hidden specifically requested I put up Anvari with a Guildmaster AR. I don't know if anyone is actually doing this strategy, where I'm boosting both seed and coin. As a matter of fact, I don't know a single person. I just did that because I know I do. Which is not the same as someone else using my sport. So I can go ahead and put him up for you. Yo, Orion. Thanks for responding to your question. You started grinding for attack seeds in Chapter 12 of the attack quest, but now you know Chapter 10 is best for pure seeds. Yeah, for sure. I grinded Chapter 12 before, even knowing it was inferior before. But, you know, that's just because I wanted to avoid spoilers. But I'm happy to actually be able to farm a quest that is actually optimal in a given situation. So it's worth farming the Chapter 12 seed if you care about the mob. But once you're done mob, it's like, never touch that quest again. Alright, so this is surprisingly the first time Anvari failed. Or rather, he got possessed, so it's gonna be the miserable part of whittling him down and hoping Smoky God, or counting on Smoky God's countdown at this point. HP for tanking units? Yes, you're raising units that you want to be tanked. You don't spoil anything, but you're very grateful for calling players right now. Gotcha, so the Chapter 14 quest is going to be a tall map. You grind coins, so you can afford to spend your seeds. Rank HP second. Okay. We're gonna move this building out since he's already under the structural HP. And we'll see here that now he should have 1 HP, so it doesn't matter what we do if we tickle him to die. It takes 8 turns if he does fail at a minimum. Sometimes it gets even worse, and there's a very tiny chance that it doesn't just do enough damage for various reasons. I'm gonna go back out briefly just to put up support for Harvey right now, so that he can feed me all his FP. Delicious fat points. I didn't even bother putting anything on Kimun. Alright, for anyone who is farming seed right now, for my Envari, speak up now because he's about to die. I'm not going to switch Envari, I'm going to switch out his AR for this booster AR. So whack. Okay. This is, I don't know if anyone really farms for seed with Envari other than me. As you can see, it's a bit, or you know, it's quite a sacrifice to make for instant guaranteed turn 1 clears, which you can do with other methods if you don't shoehorn yourself to the strategy. But because I'm using Envari, I'm kind of forced to do this to get the max coin bonus as well. I can't get by with Envari as dead weight since that would like greatly reduce my options with the remaining team cost I have. Yeah, no problem, Harvey. And thank you for your FP. Don't worry about you, you're using Valentine Valor. Ooh, that's classic. Yeah, I vaguely remember people were using Valentine Valor for farming this quest maybe. Now granted, you can actually farm this with Boogeyman for now, but like, I'd rather farm with Boogeyman at this point since I could just board wipe and get that defense piercing. Unfortunately, Envari doesn't have that kind of fancy mechanics, but he does have overwhelming damage, so that's fine. I should be even grateful this is even possible. Waiting to spend the anniversary login seed before you start specifically grinding for a coin. 160 million should be enough for New Year's seed and Christmas seeds. This is awkward. Yeah, there's still a bunch more login bonuses to look forward to, so I'm excited for that. But right now, I don't really have a specific target since I've already maxed my biggest faves for everything. Other than the actual level, I'll just need to throw them in for infinity years to be done with them. But when it comes to applying the level seeds or stat seeds, they're like... they just need blossoms at this point for the most. I haven't done blossoming, obviously, with this quest. Alright, I didn't lose. This is just the scenario where I have to whittle them down for an extremely long time. We're getting there. You know, I actually prepared an evaluation for Envari, presuming he would be available for the selector ticket if it did reprint this year, but as well as a number of other units, but that didn't come to fruition. It seems that they skipped a bunch from 2018 to like 2019 this year. So it was like a bunch of wasted work, which is why those anniversary videos aren't out as soon as they'd like. Not to mention, you know, have to fight up some shit for Quantum and Masashi as well as Fenrir and Ifrit. You hated fighting Ramu untranslated. It sucked so much, but now knowing about his burn weakness. Ramu has burn weakness? What? I didn't know that. He's weak to burn. Increased damage taken when under the effects of burn. Really? Okay, you know what? I didn't... This is the first time I'm actually noticing. How big is the amp anyways? Is it like... does it let you pierce all that? I mean, it's not gonna help me. It's 2 times, never mind. That's pretty hyper shit. I mean, it's good, but... you know, with all those defense stacks, it's nothing. That's why Summer Shiva was good. I guess that partially explains it. You're gonna be piercing everything, but it doesn't a shitload of damage anyways. If you wanted to know what my guaranteed setup was, though, it was actually you swap out Summer Oz and Oscar. Sorry, rather, you can now fit in 4 stars Smokey, as well as Wakantaka, as usual. And instead of Anvari and Oz, you would fit in Oscar and Mephistopheles. And Oscar doesn't have piercing, but his damage amp with his charge is just so ridiculous that he destroys them anyways. Unfortunately, I only enjoyed that very briefly during the Chapter 14 campaign's original release. And then Anvari got his Evo, and then I never looked back because I want to claim. Because I'm no longer going to be farming what's called daily half stamps. This was a decision that I didn't make lightly because, you know, it's always been a pretty high and late game question of what should you farm in the end. And I used to just farm whatever campaign was up, but that was just me not really putting too much thought in it and just, you know, doing what I can. But after thinking about it, I was like, I think I should just drop it entirely and focus on this one farm from now on. Well, I'll move on to Blossoms once it translates, but this is probably the only time I can really have any chance of attack seeding all of the units I want to, which is going to be all the damage dealers in the game. So that's a pretty big ask. No one else will do, but whatever. You have affiliations boost on Ahura Mazda. He cooks a little fishy-like dinner. Doesn't he like low range or something? I guess he has like short range charge. I know some strategies for Ramu were like that. Like supposedly some people used what's it called? Fucking Ulaanbaatar with his short range charge, even his only short range natively.
まあさあガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ引きずり込まれねガチで等しく沈め
Oh boy. He's got the snipe range charge. Ahura has snipe range? That's pretty good. But yeah, I've heard that the Chapter 14 quest is going to be a lot easier. I really don't know much about it. I was spoiled, unfortunately, that it had debuffs of some kind, and that was a consideration to have around. I don't know how bad the debuffs are exactly, but I'll just have to see. I don't actually know if I'll be able to use Anvari in that quest, though. I mean, Anvari can't equip a Blossom Boost right now, so at best I'll be able to bring, like, Force or Anvari with the Blossom Booster, which I think at that point I might be willing to sacrifice that 5% coin boost if I'm being forced to use Force Anvari. Ahura shot, Ulam has snipe. Ulam has snipe? Oh, okay. I mean, he built his charge up fairly well, but I'm not sure how reliable it is to get by turn 3, considering there's some inconsistency built in. I forgot how much strength I started with. Was it like 127? My target is to use 7 hits in a row, but I started with 50 stamina, so I'll try to aim for 121 drinks left over before we start using thingies. Or backing out, rather. This should be fun. You're running 2 of them in both maps. Whoa! Good news for me. Awesome! Probably have to change something else about your team, though. I see. It's incredible that you're actually running double Anvari, though. And presumably Lucky Cat too, but that might be a sacrifice worth dropping. Honestly, if I dropped Lucky Cat and just put an MC, I could actually get by with like using 4-star Smoky God. It's fine. 2%. I need 2% coin. I'm desperate for coin ever since I dropped the coin scuffles for good. Hey, that is relieving to know. And you know what? The units are probably going to only get better from there, and the choices. I don't know, I've had the best choices, but seems you're implying that Walk on Mugen won't actually work for this map. Could you imagine how slow this would have been if I'd actually decided to stream for the Chapter 14 campaign? That is to say, before the speed update. And might as well be watching paint dry on the wall. It's very funny because even though like I always value what's called the fastest farm team possible and one-shots and all that, I'm pretty sure I've never had a guaranteed clear for any of the farm quests that I've ever done. So, as we know, the first farm quests that it began, or that were kind of worth farming were, hold on, give me a sec, this one takes a bit. What am I doing? No! I wasn't paying attention. I screwed up badly here. I should have moved in Bari since he already had his stupid thing. No! God damn it. Music's playing appropriately right now. I'm sorry for being stupid. Okay, I just moved them up like that. Sorry, I'll get back to that thought in a second, but I screwed up bad and I don't want to lose this quest now because of stupidity. I'm just actually killing my team constantly now. This is so stupid! I'm so stupid. Okay, it's fine. So, as I was saying, what was I saying? Jeez, I already lost my train of thought. You're farming EXP with mentors, and I've heard, geez, what the fuck? And coin and boss at the same time, and it's funny how fast it is how bad your teams get when you switch units to level. Don't be RB, don't farm EXP with these quests. You're better off just sticking to Legends, seriously, don't be that desperate. You hit rank 107 yesterday, now your only real ranking goal left is to get 82 team cost. Yeah, the, what's called coveted rank 130. It's gonna take forever, but that's my target too, so I can finally fix what you got, even though the strategy might be outdated by then. You didn't have guaranteed clear for the attack seed quest until you got Summer Shiva for New Year's. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. But yeah, I'd never... So let's review... the farm quests we've had. The farm quests we had began with the tier 1 seed quests, I believe. For the crafters, but no one was farming then. Fucking seed boosters didn't exist back then, so... it was obviously not worth farming tier 1 seeds even when it was first available. So no one, to my knowledge, bothered farming with that. After that, there was the tier 2 ones with the Infernal Giant, and I kind of farmed that, but I don't... I was using like a Kotar setup that might have been guaranteed, but I can't remember. But you know, it wasn't for seed in the end. There was still no seed boosters back then. Now when we're actually talking about the one that gets to be really farmable, was the release of tier 3 seeds with the Mahakala quest, as well as the Shiva quests for the tier 3 seeds. And I think I had a guaranteed setup for Shiva. I might not have actually, but that was just HP seed, so who the fuck cares? But for the Mahakal one, yeah, I definitely didn't have a guaranteed setup. But fun fact about the Mahakal quest, when I was farming it briefly at the time, there was actually some bug that was happening with it, where normally they have this double evasion thing that was happening, but for me, for some reason, I only needed to hit them once and I could like pierce through the defense right after. It was weird, but I enjoyed it while that bug was still there. But yeah, never guaranteed. And then the Invaders Chapter 13 taxi quests came out with the Tier 1 Blossoms. And I didn't have anything guaranteed for that either. The Guts one was like, I was using fucking Nomad 4 to ferry around and get the crit, and it was just like not guaranteed. And the best I could do was 4 turns actually for the HBC quest. The other one, what was the other quest for a taxi? Oh yeah, it was the... I farmed that one, I remember. It was the one featuring Sandayu and Kuzume. If you remember that, I farmed that on stream as well, and that was not pretty. Fucking using Jiraiya constantly failing, and Akia, because they weren't skill seeded, also failing, and I don't think... I I think it was sometimes returnable, but it was never guaranteed. Even after I still seeded Jirai, because sometimes the heal would just fail his stupid effect of burn or whatever. Need those seed boosters. Gotta be shoehorned into using units that aren't necessarily optimal just because they can boost. Let's see. It's a good idea to farm unit EXP, especially if you're level seeded a lot of units and don't get for rank EXP. You're not gonna be getting much level for someone who's level seeded, Jesus Christ. Granted, funnily enough, I actually did level up Walk on a couple of times. I level seeded this guy to like 74, but I never actually put like level or boosts on him. But he reached 74 just from me farming this so much, I believe. So it kind of tiny helps, but only if you're incidentally already farming with him. I would not really recommend changing your team build for just unit EXP. Without doing that, you'd still be leveling Gordon to 90 until Christmas. I mean, that's fine. No one's using your Gordon anyways. That's not true. I actually used your Gordon earlier today. I was recording Fenrir gameplay. So congrats, your Gordon's gonna be featured when I talk about Fenrir in his section. You remember trying to farm those chapter 11 quests with your old phone? Shiva CS used to cause your phone to crash all the time. Was that so? Yeah, Akio, you just cannot kill Christenic without getting bind. Yeah, that was it. It was that stupid evasion or something that sometimes didn't go off, and it's just like Akia's bind was only 60% or 70%, and essentially, if he didn't get it off, then, you know, his emergency functions would have to take place. This shitty, you know, built-in effects that don't make sense for calm clears. You know, if you fail to clear, then you can do other things, such as get crit again, or in Akia's case, if he charges, he loses his damage or some shit like that. So you can heal a lot more. I don't even know what it is. Non-burn strengthening versus burn strengthening. It was definitely a time, and I thought I could escape it for this quest and could enjoy the farm a lot more. And to be fair, I'm enjoying it a lot more than other people who are probably traumatized by this quest just because of the stupid trumpets from the song, from such a mid-OC being used. As well as the fact that, you know, pre-update, this is like hands down the slowest quest in the game. I'm pretty sure there's no other slower quest in this game, other than from if you know, force it through your own native effects, because every single one of these guys like gave everyone CP and it showed on the board every single time there was an effect going on. So it was miserable for everyone farming this. So thankfully, I never really had to experience that. I mean, I did a tiny bit, but it's fine. I was using Oscar by then the board without thinking. Right now, though, I can ignore it entirely, so I don't mind the slowness with Embari as a result. I mean, I do, but, you know, silver lining. You did that, Ars, so it works. It's no longer just the area, you'll never be doing it. That's on English, but okay. Plus, chapter 14 is just that easy. Good to know, so I can keep on bringing Embari. I never thought the song was that bad. It was just bad because we didn't have the speed up. It's just so unambitious. I mean, it gets the job done, you know? It's like, if you watch like a lot of anime or any other show, they always have battle music, and it's necessary, right? Functional music that makes you feel the energy of the moment. But I would personally never put that music in my playlist because it's just, well, I want to relax with music like this. That's what I'm saying. I always want to relax, but at the same time, battle music is often more about just putting you in a dangerous sense rather than you inducing you to like be nodding your head or something. That was a bad move by me. It's okay though. What are you nabbing attack seeds for? Right now I am attack seeding Girimekhala, but I'll be attack seeding a bunch of units today because that's how good this farm is. You can see I'm pretty much more than 50% of the time getting 3 attack seeds. So with all the boosters, this is just straight up better than the chapter 14 farm. But if you're not using any seed boosters at all, then naturally the chapter 14 will be better. You can only get a maximum of 2 in the tap plus 1, but on average you'll get more there than in this quest if you don't use boosters. Running Summer Hecate on this quest was an experience. You're running Summer Hecate on this quest? That's definitely a choice. She's Ether type, so I guess she could equip the thing booster, unlike Leannon. The Leaden phone can run this and play YouTube in a pop-out player. Never have to listen to mild mid-music or annoying voice lines while farming. Yeah. For me, now that I'm doing this, I remember it's pretty convenient for me to farm this on stream. It's been so long since I've streamed farming because, holy shit, this has been a drought for campaigns. I mean, I think it's on average it's pretty average for how many campaigns are in. But when it's like right next to last year, which was the year of campaigns where we were getting one every 2 months or even 1 month, it feels like quite the drought. But yeah, as I was saying, it's pretty nice to be able to farm on stream like this so I can put on my playlist and actually talk and forget about how monotonous it is. We tried it because she can support Oscar in the 4th slot. Agonizing. Why not just use Mephistopheles? What? I don't understand why you're not using Mephistopheles. I started with a 27, right? Yeah, I'm going for 121 then. But yeah, Mephistopheles work. You're the one who told me about that. I mean, I should have figured that out because it's obvious, but like Mephistopheles with Wakon, Mugen, and Smokey does enough damage for sure to just destroy everything. Well, maybe you just didn't have the right Oscar, but Zalgis's Oscar was definitely strong enough. Alright, 30 minutes in. So the decline begins. You're trying to avoid applying debuffs. What? Applying debuffs? Is that an issue in this quest, or are you talking about chapter 14? Apparently an unraised Mephilosophes was the what? I don't remember. Oh, are you talking Wakam Mugen like pre-patch or something? I remember like Wakam Mugen did some stupid thing because it wasn't programmed properly and they would be unkillable. But I'm pretty sure even in that case, like Oscar would still be able to kill him. Tangra Mugen's healing when debuffed. I mean, it doesn't happen like to revive him, right? If the debuff is applied last, he'll be fine. Or rather, he'll die. I don't know why I moved in there. I'm not paying attention. No, I'm not paying attention. That was the suboptimal. Well, we're under the threshold anyway, so it's fine. First thing you're not seeing here is not a 3-turn clear. I've never been able to do a 3-turn clear, unfortunately, for any of these quests. Maybe one of these days, hopefully for chapter 14, I can actually do a 3-turn clear, but it's just a pipe dream right now. We'll revive him. Nah, I used it. Like literally, I know it. That's okay. You know what? Just for you guys. This is gonna screw up my calculations. Whatever. I'll just do like a 2-hour run. Later on, I'm planning to see how long this video is to get a time estimate of how efficient I farm. But it's moments like these where it's gonna be a bit suboptimal because you guys are messing up my recording here. But we'll just copy this loadout and paste it over here. Oh yeah, look over here. We're gonna switch over to my old team very briefly. Just for you guys. Ugh. Goodbye, Anvari. And we'll put on Mephistopheles. I know this works. I know this doesn't revive shit. I'm sure you can do a 3-turn for chapter 14. I even have a consistency for that. I see. Well, it'll depend on if I can get by with Anvari or not. According to Harvey Guys, it seems I should be able to since he's using double Anvari, but I might need to change my setup. I don't know what that means, but maybe it means walk on. It's not gonna work. Just for you guys, I'll do this suboptimal run once to show, as a matter of fact, you can't clear. Like, I don't know what the fear is here. Yeah, I'm doing the Embrace right now, but because Harvey said something controversial about Mephistopheles, you know, reviving himself or some shit like that. Like, look at this. It's fine. What's the problem? What's the problem? I don't get it. What's the problem? No, only 2 seeds. I blame it. Harvey for that. He didn't even apply Dazzle on Shelter Phase 1. I don't think they do apply Dazzle, but it's no issue. It's literally... I farmed that during the Chapter 14 campaign. It's like, no issue at all. Anyways, you owe me a refund for the tiny amount of coin and seed I missed out from there. Alright, let us try to get a longer run uninterrupted this time that I can actually use to get a time estimate for this. Also, hey Zavi, welcome! We are continuing our stream a bit over 30 minutes in, and we are just discussing the ups and downs about our different arrangements for farming. I saw an interesting post or, you know, chat comment from Harvey about how everyone's doing slightly different things for the farm right now. It seems Harvey's doing this deranged thing where he's leveling units at the same time in free quests. And Harvey apparently is prioritizing coin of all things in free quests. I mean, I'm prioritizing too, but not as a number 1 thing. And Milk is re-rolling for Blossoms manually, and Erta's just been cheeky by Erta, you know, being right there. He kind of broke the game and is... I'm not sure if he... Like, he's in a weird position with the game where he, like, enjoys the game enough to play it every day and update the kit, but he's also very... he's pretty much just cheating in the game, to be honest. He's, like, doing a computer-generated reroll so that he can get the maximum amount of blossoms without any blossom boosters. So, exposed. As a mod, he's totally fine. Gosh, I'm hungry. Sorry, that just intrusive thought just went. You need to get some of that background music. Yeah. So it has all the same music you heard from my previous streams, but it is has the new tracks from Manifest Garden, which was some random indie game I bought one time, and I absolutely fell in love with the very short game as well as the music itself. Maybe it's not for everyone, but for me it was very meaningful. I've also added the soundtrack for Raincode, so got diversity this time around. Yo, Jean Rivera, welcome. As you can see, it's going pretty mid. It's going just like my life. Everything's falling apart. But 99% of the time I'll make it. It's really just compensation for starting the account 400 days ago. Sure, Jen. Get 12 turns clear. It's gotten as bad as 18 turns, to be honest. I've never gone beyond that because at that point, Ramu actually just kills me. So, but it has gone as bad as 18 clears. It's kind of funny though that Smoky God's fucking board-wide, including to allies countdown is coming in clutch, you know, 8 turns later every single time. You're usually just listening to Future Funk or Tim Funk music. Oh, I see.
等しく沈め目を覚まガチで決め等しく沈め俺様のガブ
行こうか。
等しく沈め
These nuts.
等しく沈め目をガチで等しく沈め俺様のガブル三日月等しく沈め
There's a similar vibes to you making a new dungeon team with more mentors and then suffering. I mean, I'm no stranger to doing like fucking mentor runs that, you know, don't even have like the unit you're leveling in the front. So I've already like optimized for suffering in the name of resource boosting for dungeons. So this is just like a not so distant cousin for me when it comes to making a 12 turn clear just so I can get more coin.
等しく沈め俺様のガ
行こうか。では、
Actually, I reminded you, you have Summer Shivas, so you switch to that strat and leveling him, and I'm having much better time. Nice. Never mind, you're suffering. Ramu, right? I bet it's Ramu. I've heard he should be able to clear. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. I know that regular Shiva clears. I'm not sure if Summer Shivas. However, if you have if you have Mystic Christmas Kalki, he actually works pretty well for Summer Shiva in this quest, I would presume, since he can remove all the defense buffs of Ramu.
俺様の背をガ
行こうか。
The difference between you're doing this a million times in a row and dungeons are limited. Your patience would be wouldn't ask the song. I mean, you're forgetting that for dungeons, when I did, even if it was once a day, those clears took like 40 to 50 turns in a row. So I have the patience in first place. And even before those mentor runs, I was like bringing fucking a Varga. If you remember, before there was like an optimal. Let's go. Before Dead got his Evo, the best mentor to bring was a Varga. And there was like no other EXP boosters, so I was straight up just bringing a Varga with me in teams from support with a bunch of like unleveled mobs. So this is my form of difficulty in game. You think, you know, I'm just cheesing the game with fucking Walk on Tonka Mugen and, you know, not even caring about making challenge class clears anymore. No, I set my own challenges in this game. Like, of course I want an easier win, but because I choose to go for optimization of resources instead, I have my own brand of suffering. Also, oddly, welcome. You don't have to apologize for being late for this type of stream. What you see now is going to be pretty much exactly the same of what you'll see an hour later. Let's play here. You thought your 25 dungeon clear today was bad? That's pretty bad. Thank you, Echo, Kokushi, whatever the Danganronpa name is for the song that's a bit too loud. Yes, I'm edging users with Wakan Tanka. So look forward to the evaluation for that one. Oh shit, this song is actually a bit too loud for me. Well, it should be fun for you guys to hear, I think. One of these days we will let Kamida go from our hearts. Talk about something. The Ifkari quests. Anyway, Loki could bite me for real. Might honestly replace your disdain for nausea. It was so bad you wound up not grinding Ifkara as much. Yeah, it was pretty cancer because the play to make on that quest was to intentionally throw so you wouldn't be one-shotting instantly. Instead, you just like stall so that Gordon would get his double lock off first or some garbage like that. All in the name of making class viable in that, right? But yeah, with my team setups like this, it kind of makes me understand the reason for, you know, some farm units having like some sort of auxiliary function for survival right after. Loki sucks. Had to bring Summer Lasers to get Summer Shivas done. I don't think that was the issue with him, but okay. Damn, this quest long. You're in Summer Oz, fashioning to walk on. Oh. And bail back then. You could return as long as Oz and Bale weren't far away on first phase and just stray Oz and walk in Tonka toward Bale for buff reversal. Yeah. It's an interesting design. We have a lot of guaranteed setups nowadays, but as you can see, this sort of LifeWonders, you gotta give them credit. They fairly fine-tuned the farm quests quite well. If, like, even now, there's a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but people like me who are still not clearing guaranteed. And even on release, like, a lot of setups required, you know, or, you know, necessitated some unreliably built-in summer due to spawning or whatever. Some units make it guaranteed, but in the sacrifice of resource optimization, as you can see. Quest designed to pretend crosses all ranges useful. One of these days we'll have a unit that can bring crosses HP to 0. Alright, I think that should be enough for the farming of this first batch, so we'll apply our attack seeds now. Alright, Girimekhala, in your big black trunk pick. Let me give it suck. No, not that suck. No, come on. Fucking mouse interface. There you go. LifeWonders giving fat fucks a chance, and they make the whole level unsatisfying to farm. Yeah. Klaus. I mean, at least that was decent for Mystic. The better Santa Claus. Yeah, pre-Summer Shiva, you had to rely on extreme luck-based Christmas Benton, Fushi, Valentine Blorcus for this quest. Is Girimekhala my anniversary redemption? Yes, he is. I got 2 units from the anniversary. I got Yuma and Girimekhala. I didn't really know what to do with my last platinum ticket, so I ended up just using it for coin. I could have used it on another ticket, like, last step, but no. So yeah, I think that's the only time I would actually think coin is worth it. Not because it's worth it, but because there's nothing else I want, really. Alright, we're not done seeding quite yet because we actually need to get rid of our blossoms too. They are a liability because they just take team slots in. By the way, if you're wondering what my attack seed progress looks like, get ready, everyone. Yeah, I finished Yuma before the stream began. I was farming a bit. He was not even leveled, is he? I think history star is, yeah. Look at all these units that are attack seeded, that are damage dealers, and could be useful in free quests or event quests. Okay. Who is it gonna attack seed next? I started seeding Ishblank because of the fucking Mystic quest, and I just dropped it immediately after. I already get... Wait, why am I looking? I'm not looking for seed units. I'm looking for units to plus him. So there is a method to my blossom spread right now. You wouldn't really get it. So you can enjoy me being very cursed and attack blossoming 8 and out. Obviously attack seed Lianon. You know, I actually did attack seed Lianon in the beginning, before I was really attack farming. It was just when you decided to max all your favorite units or all the units you use all the time. So that was like pre-farming days, really. But, you know, ever since then, it was just like... Ever since farming began, I just haven't touched Lianon since. She's kind of funny that she always shows up there. Because I haven't touched her in literally like 2 or 3 years now. Let's see. OMG Cumin useful. I mean, he's a calm clear, kind of. God Mercenary was your last... Holy crap, there's a lot of comms I didn't read out. You enjoy the screen of Eta while I read them out. Mystic was slightly terrible, but more annoying because the devils kept giving Curse, Drain, and Freeze every time being hit. Use Tante, I guess, I don't know. Got Mercenary with my last ticket, and now you have an extremely minor optimization for your HP Blossom quest. That is You're optimizing it with Masanori? What? That's bizarre. Not only attack down, kill things slower, defense down, die faster, and drain CP. I mean, if you say so. You attack seeding class for no reason because there's no one else you want to seed. I mean, you already committed to seeding all the FCAR units. Least insane Aura Club. Just finished attack seeding Hecate before anniversary. Wait, you can slide to select? Yeah, you can also do the auto select thing down here. That helps things out a bit. Slide selection's been a thing for a while. Yes, that's been a thing since last year. Alright, I haven't actually used all my seeds yet. Blossoms. So, the method I'm doing here is a bit weird. It's a bit arbitrary too, but it's essentially just saving coin. Because the coin cost for blossoms is actually quite high in the long run. So, I did some math here. It's just like arbitrary math, to be honest. Of, you know, if I were to, what's it called? Spend, how do I put this? If I were to spend an equal amount of lesser seeds and middle seeds, sorry, lesser blossoms and middle blossoms and greater blossoms on a unit, then how would that look? And how that looks is, I would invest up to like 120, 1,280 or 1,290, something like that, for the tier 1s, and then I'd switch tier 2s. So that's why the spread kind of looks like this. Sorry, it goes up to 1,070 for tier 1, then 1,280 for tier 2, something like that. Anyway, too much information, you didn't need to know any of that. I actually do have a tiny bit more left over, I think. Yeah, I need to choose another attack blossom order. Who's gonna take it? Who wants my seed? The only reason I'm attack seeding Ahab right now is because I actually use him quite often whenever I need a tank setup. So he ends up being my de facto damage dealer in tank setups just because, like, Ellie's not gonna do much and Ganglia is permanently missing. And like the fourth unit is kind of just like any other filler at that point. But yeah, that's my favorite tank setup in this game. Ellie, Ganglia, and Ahab. Alright, so we're gonna use 7 more thingies, majors, which will bring us down to, please math, stop failing me, 114. Let's do this. That's not true. That's bad math. Is it bad math? It's good math. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, but outside... Hold on, give me a sec. Outside of car units, you think the only ones left you probably care about are mobs. It's your leftover attack seed mob living there. I mean, some of them are worth it. I already attack seeded Infernal Live Streamer, but I might get back to them and actually attack seed the rest, because there might be cases where you want to use a specific attribute. Masteroid, the best non-moving buffer who can equip a booster AR. I don't know about that. What? Surely there are better ones. Like the next best one is 3-star Tindalos. Surely there are better ones. I feel like that's kind of pretty cap. You're gonna level seed Shoji next because Ara only looks at the ether slot. That wasn't the ether slot, that was the free slot. You can't run 5-star Tindalos with your team cost while running Envarian Lucky Cat. I guess everyone's running Envarian Lucky Cat nowadays. It's funny. But it's the sad reality of the post 20 level seed cap days. No, get out of the way, you stupid bitch. Okay, I want to move him instead. I don't care if he dies. What? How do you do so much damage? Oh yeah, fucking stupid. I forgot that actually was an amp. Yes, it happens sometimes. I do lose the quest sometimes. To be fair, I also did lose sometimes in the stupid chapter 12 attack farm. It was much rarer than this one though. It's I'm definitely losing a lot more often than this one. I wish there was a button to just retry from the beginning without using boosts. Top 10 animal betrayals. LifeWonders heard us saying that possession was a weak debuff, and then they made it the most cancerous thing ever for chapter 13. Well, next, skill seeded pool Oz. Nice. Rip Bozo, shut the fuck up, guys. That's what you guys show up for, You doubled it and gave it to the next person. Oz is a good choice to skill seed if you're farming with him, obviously. Because he does have that shit thing, fail rate built in. But you know what? I think it's fair because he's busted in every sense. Still doesn't make it any less miserable, but without Oz, this right harm just wouldn't have been possible in the first place. Like, seriously, is this quest even possible without even, like, board wiping or trying to go for the instant wipe? Because it strongly discourages you from wiping people only partially because of this stupid CP generation thing. It's, like, actually strongly, says, fuck you tanks. No tanks allowed. No stall setups. Not that you'd want to for farming, but it's pretty much impossible in this quest because how miserable the counter attack is. It's possible with Christmas Nomad or something. You'd have to get lucky not to get like fucked over by the other bosses. But if you're like clearing all the bosses and what's left over is just the shutters, then I guess it's fine. They just have Shiva quest this time. I mean, I finally have him, but now I'm not even using him. It's fine. I'm actually... Oz is like my only board wiper, and you know he's not really a board wiper. He's like a board wipe utility unit. Before I redeemed Shiva. Well, I guess I had regular Shiva as well, but that's like only really for dungeons. So I didn't have Oscar, I didn't have Benten, I didn't have like 5-star Tendulus or whatever. So it was just like Kotaro and Oz, really, that I was going by for board wipers. So it's nice to have a proper one for once. Congrats on clearing quest. Shut up. Melazine, protagonist, and Oz are currently the only ones max skill seeded. That is... Okay, you know what? I think I remember now. I was looking at some chat comment, and I'm trying to remember for life moment who said it. Someone said something like, "Oh, Melazine carried me in this quest." I was like, "Christmas Melazine carried you in this quest? Really? Is that you? You're the one who said that, wasn't it?" Very cursed. I mean, if it works for you, sure, but come on, Christmas Melazine. I mean, if you like them, you like them, I guess. Maybe if you used Amdusias and Arsavarga, Megan Rowe, and another powerful magic attacker, you could do it without board wiping. To my understanding, this quest is actually possible without all range board wipes with Licho. But I was actually talking more about just doing partial clears of each phase. So, you know, not killing everyone, but only killing some of them. It's just very cancer with all the CP generation, though, that it strongly discourages it. You're happy because it made you use Soul, unironically being key. The funny thing is, you can replace Soul now with Kalki, and he does it better. Yes, it was you. Why Melazine? I don't understand why you're like so happy. Melazine carried me to victory. Like, what? Whether it's stank ass fucking 60% weakness or at such a weird ass range. What is that? I don't even understand what you're cooking there. It's fine because you don't use them more. It's fine because you used them at one point, right? That was my reasoning for skill seeding Jiraiya of all people. Even though it's miserable and I actually don't like the character themselves, and for one, I at least thought their variant looked pretty stylish, and two, it's like I feel like it's worth skill seeding someone just for the lifespan of one farm quest, because it's gonna last an entire year, right? What, you're gonna try to skill seed someone that you're planning to use every year, I mean, sure, you'll do that, but there's only a few units that you might want to consider doing that for, like Anvari and maybe Shiva. And once at that point, what else are you going to skill seed, right? So I say it's fine to just skill seed someone just for the one farm quest, even if you'll never use them again. This has the presumption, of course, that you have no coin, but 22.5 million isn't so bad. Or 27.5 million, rather. He got carried by 3-star Miniaki on this quest, so anything's possible. Right, I vaguely remember you said something about his charge that removes all buffs. So I don't even know how you built up his charge. You're cooking Luck and she cooked. Okay, I guess. I mean, even then, even if her rates were guaranteed, she would still not be a good unit. You mean you're a red taxi Cockman after you finish skill seeding Summer Lab, and you're also making bad skill seed decisions. Like, I get level seeding and blossoming your faves and all that, but like, you know, it's fine to skill seed just your faves too, even if they're not going to be useful in the long run. Or at all. Because, you know, in the end, this game is just about husbands. It's a bit of a basic take, but also, you're going to have like much more skill seed left over than level seed, because all your level seed's going to go to your biggest faves. Whereas you only need to use like half a slip for a skill seed, which means like you can be a bit more liberal with your skill seeds, even if it is more practical and helpful. However, for me, that decision means I'm gonna start skill seeding people I don't care about, as long as they're useful, because I have that leisure. For you though, it might mean, you know, you're gonna just skill seed more people you like. You used Oz's charge, Boogie's skill evolution, and the Envy status to build Maniac CP200. Oh yeah, that's right, you did mention something about Oz charge with the relationship status. You replaced them with 3-star Loki like Thermal for more consistency. I forgot, does Loki pierce all defense buffs? He does, right? I guess that's pretty good, that 3-star unit can actually reach Ramun that way. That's quite good. But the only competitor he has in that regard is Boogeyman, but that's like a 5-star unit. Boogeyman. So, for those that watch my other story streams, or any other stream to be honest, I'm like constantly talking in them, whether it's voice acting or giving commentary on what's happening. And you guys might not realize it, but that shit actually like deprives my brain so badly of oxygen. That I feel like so exhausted after streams. So if I like have moments of quietness during these streams, it's because I'm like just taking a moment to enjoy for once, so that I can take a breather while streaming. Oh yeah, why aren't I using Boogeyman for this? Okay, tell me how I can use Boogeyman for this. I dare you to. While keeping Anvari and Lucky Cat. At least Summer Boogie is good at killing things. You have to use Christmas, Ryota, and Summer Behemoth to make Valentine Jacob usable. You're going for the double instant charge? Yeah, it's pretty cool. We can do an instant charge nowadays without any black magic, as long as you have those units. Unfortunately, I don't have Summer Behemoth. I wanted to pull it from harder, but I have the Curse of Jurong following me all year, so unfortunately, I am shackled to that obligation until I actually do get him. Or if I don't get him, then I guess that's it. It's Jover. It's Anvari. No thanks. If I go and ditch Anvari, at that point I just like use Oscar or something.
と一緒だと笑いが止まらんぜ。さあ次はどこで稼ぎまくるんだ。
Hey, nice blossom job. Welcome, Mugen. We'll be happy to fill you with his love.
さあガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ。引きずり込まれよ。ガチで等しく沈め。俺様の引きずり
Oh, Irby said some cold takes, so good thing this song turned up. You ditched the support on Mari in favor of Labe, and it's making funny things like Tricked and Street Board playing. Yeah, I knew it would be fucking cursed.
俺様のせいが
行こうか。
等しくし
Sees, Itzana, Shenong, Kruznik are all max skill seated. As Benton, Licho, and Krepis, you have 5 right now. I can show you guys my progress with my skill seating later. As much as I keep on saying Itzana is fantastic as, you know, what's called a buff refresher, or buff shuffler rather, I still haven't skill seated him. I probably should one day, but there's always just like better choices for farming. Thing is, for the recommendations I gave out, this is my personal preference, but I don't really like skill seeding units that are only good for challenges. I still like challenge units, I'll pull for them, but like, when it comes to skill seeding, I kind of strictly reserve those for the most for units that are useful for farming. And Itzana is not, so. It only happens sometimes and it isn't needed, but it's just funny seeing it happen since he's in the leader slot, and it's just like, oops, all dead already. This is Irby's copy for the 10 billionth time because Triton doesn't have affiliations. Maybe it goes hard in Metro runs. Now I'm back in hell with Oguchi. Okay. I'm actually kind of shocked that Oguchi got so far in the stupid quest. Not quest. The pull. Like, I knew he would get like win 1 or 2 matches because dog, but like seriously, quarterfinals of all things, Oguchi? Who the fuck even is that dog? People don't even know what he is. Half the people don't even know he's a masochist, and people are like, oh, Oguchi Mogami, he's gonna win. Like what? Who is this? Who let him in? You can fucking blame Oguchi, by the way, for the reason why I'm using like the live mythological representations of them that aren't just from Housamo now. Because the original plan was to use AR art for the tournament, with the presumption that Oguchi would be kicked out with the next round. But because he managed to get by and beat Sasagwa of all the units, there is no Oguchi AR. So, and by the way, there's no Oguchi variant too. So I had to make do with fucking this bizarre ass art I'm going for right now. Let's go police violence. Is that his thing? It wasn't more like violence towards himself. People don't even know what he's about. I read his thing, and apparently he's supposed to be like a wolf god or a wolf representative. Because apparently the Japanese wolf went extinct some time ago. So worship of Oguchi no Makami had declined, and it's kind of just like wolves themselves in Japan have become a sort of cryptid as a result. People thinking that they're still alive, just hidden somewhere. But yeah, I don't really know what specifically Oguchi is supposed to be worshipping other than just wolves in general. I think it's like they value how wolves are supposed to be like the perfect ideal family or something, was their pack system, but I don't know. I mean, Break got far too. There's no accounting for taste. I'm surprised about Break. Actually, I'm not. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm surprised Break is beating Shino. Most likely will beat Shino. But it's no surprise Break got this far. He's always been like as basic as Tadatomo in terms of taste, and people always seem to be bringing up those two, even though like, what do they do? They do nothing. It's like fucking who let the twinks in? People go gaga for a hot dog. There is a lot of hot dogs in here, a bit too many for my liking. I'm more of a sausage kind of guy. Probably should have invited instead. ACAB includes the fairy cops. Sure. I don't know why ACAB's a thing. I know it's like an American institutional issue, but like, come on, this is a Japanese game. Why are you like trying to superimpose it on them? Break going this far is the most surprising, unsurprising thing. So Oguchi didn't surprise me since at least he looks unique. Like, come on. Oguchi is... Where's this fan base coming from, though, right? It's not like he had the time to build up to, you know, people defending him. So I feel like he only got this far strictly just because the fan base that's established or not, people thought, you know, like, bunga bunga, hot dog. Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe the cursed art I'm picking for this round will change things. But we'll see. By the way, the art for Moritaka is pretty cursed. Since I'm presuming Moritaka's gonna get it next time. Breaks popular because of the recent doujins. Change your mind. What recent doujins? I don't really read enough doujins, but mostly because they're kind of a pain to find and usually like locked behind Patreon, and I don't even know. Me being dumb again. To be fair, he's a wolf and Frey's two old wolves. 6 out of the 8 contestants are canines. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, guys. Name 5 recent break doujins. I didn't even know there were any break doujins. There's the very well made Break X Nomad one. You're gonna have to link to me these to me later. I don't know, I'm curious about seeing them. I could probably just like use E61 to find them or some shit. What's your, actually, instead of telling me what specific doujins they are, what's your go-to doujin site? I don't really have a good one. Instead of rule makers, since wait, can't you just like use Berserker's Affiliation to make this faster? Instead of using rule makers, since you're using Smoky. Berserker's Affiliation? Do you mean invaders? I don't know what you're talking about. Affiliations don't work on thing. It's the support unit, remember? You're reading manga and e-hentai. I see. I mean, I'm familiar with those names, but they always seem like some random grab bag of things that wasn't well organized or curated. But if you think those are the authoritative ones, maybe we'll give them a closer look. Who's your favorite character? I encourage you to look into my video list or just my channel in general, and you'll see my favorite characters on the channel banner. Actually, most people don't see it, but if you view my channel on like YouTube TV or something, you're not allowed to just... You're supposed to make a banner that can fit the entire screen of a TV, and it'll get cropped for just a desktop after, and it'll get cropped again for mobile. So my other favorites are actually shown if you manage to see the TV view for it. You can think of Arsenal Doujin before break. You can think of Typhon Doujin before break. You can think of Gandharva Doujin before break. Yeah. Maybe I'll just spend one good day discovering some doujins. Okay, I only know a few for my favorites and not really for the general pool. You're reading manga. Okay, everyone seems to be using you're reading manga apparently. Fine, I'll check it out again. I feel like every time I use my reading manga, it's not for the purpose of like discovering something. It's more like just to find a dojin I already know exists. You know, that's a Suruo dojin's pretty popular. Don't know what it is. Don't know.
目を等しく沈め。
行こうか。
ガブリと行く。俺さ、ガブリと行くぞ。くそったれ。俺夢のガチファイト。
Still mad they didn't add the new Thunderbird Gandharva AR to the anniversary shop. They didn't? I just assumed they added all the permanent ones. But that is kind of funny, because there's no reason not to include it. Don't get ARs from the shop though. Please don't. I gave all my thoughts already on what ARs you should redeem. Not ARs. What you should redeem from the anniversary shop. ARs, including the returning boosters, I would say like just don't. Unfortunately, I won't have time to be watching or reading manga, or dojins rather. At least for the next half week or so, just because of all the content I'm committing myself to be producing.
行こうか。では、僕らの答えを出すとしよう。問題ない。
Because it's very new and recent. I mean, they added Girimekhala and all the other 4 stars in this. Why not add the ARs too? Most artists, you know, found from my reading manga. Wow, everyone uses my reading manga just to find things directly, huh? I guess I'm more of an image hunter myself than a dojin hunter. I guess for people that prefer looking up full dojins, that's how they find most of their things. You did, because after Yuma, what else were you gonna get, you know? Lately though, you've just been paying for digital copies of certain dojins. Some of the stuff just hits certain niches the main sites don't. I think I used to do a couple fan boxes, and then I was just like, so fucking thirsty. But also, I could just find these for free online pirated somewhere if I just look hard enough, so I'll just unsubscribe. I believe one of them was Big Orange Sheep, maybe? Yeah, but I don't do it anymore. This comic seemed pretty odd, but I started deciding that the whole hero thing was kind of nonsensical, so I just dropped it. Nope, the AGF ARs weren't in the anniversary shop banner at all. Yeah, well, they're not worth it, so don't bother. You're just glad you got a Ashigara AR, even though it's shit. You're an Ashigara Yoyogi fan. I mean, fair enough. You don't really need 75 million coin, and you like T-Bird? So you're cool with blowing ticket 7 on a hubby AR you would never use. You know what? That's fair enough, because it's like, freaking, if... Honestly, I wasn't even sure if I should get coin 2. I was deciding maybe I should just get a Yuma copy, or maybe I should just get a favorite unit, or maybe I should go for completion, just for completion's sake, for units I don't have. It's like, if it's literally just leftovers you don't know what to do with, I guess it's fine to use ARs then. Bighorn Sheet comics hot though. They're hot, but then it's like, I don't know. Can't really relate to them. I mean, 1, they're all about heroes, and 2, it seems in their personal lives they're all sluts. Like, as you know, horny and degenerate I am with making jokes, I actually can't relate to the slut life that well. Do not get as much action as the average person.
引きずりこ引きずり
等しく沈め
Maybe like once or twice a year, I fall into that pit of finding a hookup. But it's just like, it's been less and less just because life and also, I
行こう
don't
か
know,
では
it's
言
a
わ
pain
れ
in the ass.
僕らのこと。
My understanding though, the national average for hookups, or not hookups, like getting in it with someone is maybe like once every 2 weeks. Like, people in real life are fucking thirsty. Like, I'm thirsty, but like, I don't act on it like other people do in real life as often. I don't know. I guess I just haven't found that community where I'm not as naturalized to it.
等しく沈め
ガチで
等しく沈め
Alright, do I have a favorite dojin? I do have 2 favorite dojins actually. Thanks to Anniversary, you now need 22 million unit EXP to level up your stuff.
引きずり込まれ
Well, at least you have something to do for the next year.
等しく沈め
俺様の背を破る
The only other thing you would spend as the anniversary tickets was maxing the 4-star Jurong Secret Artifact. I was considering getting Jurong dupes, but I like Jurong, of course. But, you know, it's like,
沈め
for more Jurong damage, I mean, it's just like, you're not using him for damage. You kind of are, but let's be real, you're using him for the meme of just the debuff refreshing and flat damage that it causes from stacking them all over again.
夢のアンドバ
Having a slightly stronger charge is like, it'll help, but it's not part of the meme.
等しく沈め
俺様のや
行こうか
I love more romantic comic styles like Boss Yasuyori and MC5 Dungeon being... I think I saw a couple of Yasuyori comics recently. I don't know, I forget the reason why. It's not like I like Yasuyori, but maybe someone just brought it up and was like, what are they about? They seemed okay. One of them was like Yasuyori topping, the other one was MC
俺
topping.
様の背を
It's fine. You
や
know,
行こうか
Ross Dojin. Because he's like the unit with the highest secret artifact level I have.
等しく
Aw,
沈め
jealous.
俺
Well, I'm
様
never gonna
の
max during that way, but whatever. Thanks to Anniversary, you're currently at 100 million coin dubbed. Truly feels like Anniversary, doesn't it? When you're in debt rather than getting gains.
君に怪我がない
Well, Ayrton, now they have the 3 times rate up chance. I mean, do people actually use that?
ガチ儲けのチャンスだ
Strategically? I don't even know.
引きずり込まれ
Kirby does that. He uses
等
boosts.
しく沈め
俺様の破る引きずり込まれよ
Hook up every 2 weeks, the average for people? Yeah, that's what I heard according to like Statistics Canada. Maybe it was American
俺様
statistics.
の背
But essentially,
行こうか
I guess for people that aren't fucking freaks that play Housamo, aka, you know, normies, it seems that the
等しく
finding a partner and having sex regularly
俺
is
様の
pretty common for the average
指を
person.
破る
I did have this crisis at one point in time where I felt like, I'm gonna level with you. All the way up until the end of when I graduated university, I was still a virgin. And when I learned about this statistic, I thought there was something wrong with me. Like, I was like, is there something... Am I, like, unlovable? Or is there... Am I missing something here? Or why is everyone getting action and I'm not? What the hell? So that's when I started looking into hookup apps, and I finally got some. But, I don't know. It's... I wasn't naturalized or into it or weaned into it, so it still seems a bit bizarre to me that people are doing it so often. I guess they find proper partners and all that, but since, you know, we're in the furry world, we're looking at different people fucking every single day. Maybe for some furries, I'm sure there's like an excessive amount of sex, but maybe for others like me, it's a bit less than average.
夢のアンドバリガチ
行こうかではピュアリング
Somehow, unlike other anniversaries, even though you spent nearly all your seeds, your coin count does not decrease. That is surprising, but then again, you're doing some pretty fucking degenerate stuff with your coin decisions.
俺様の背を指が
Or hookups up every 2 weeks with people he wishes.
格闘技も少しかじったことがあってね
Nah.
君に
I mean, I
怪
kinda
我
wish
が
it.
ないなら
But there's just like a lot of things in my life, as well as with myself, that it's not gonna make it as straightforward as I'd like. Once a month for you. Wow, lucky you. But I guess that's average.
等しく沈め
5-star Heracles is your next highest, and you wish he wasn't. That's a pretty unfortunate 5-star king, actually. Although he does get a stretch really often. Thanks for spooking on the quantum bear.
等しく
Mostly because you gave up on Dead, Sabani and Quiznik, and started new ones.
沈め
Zab dead in the water. Surprised about Kriznik and dead, but I guess you don't really care about them that as much. You don't really talk about them.
俺様のせが
行こうか
Ross, but that one wrestler in the Austin Dojin is Chef's Kiss.
等しくし
As for my favorite dojins, I'm pretty sure most of you know this already. My favorite dojins
俺様の
are going to be
引きず
the Trouble series by
等しく沈め
what's his name? Takakikyo or Takakikyo, depending on the translation of his name. As well as Meko Rareko by Kinoshita Jiro.
夢のアンドガチで
Absolutely love those series, and in fact, they play no small part in how I came to end up obsessing over Jurong. Since Meko Rareko had a photographer that was a short stack little dude, and Trouble had also a short stack red panda. Maybe I'll get back was dead. He just went in the back of the list of priorities. I have no intention at all to continue Zab though. What other Kriznik and Sandayu? Don't you like Sandayu? Well, I'm not actually sure if you like Sandayu. But I know you do have him since you is Kabukicho Night Festival variant.
等しく沈めガチで等しく沈め俺様の背をガブ
行こうか
等しく
I have a clear type.
引きずり
I mean, they're not really types at that point. I mean, they're furries and they're gay, but
俺様の背を
you know, they're historically important to
引
me.
きずり込
I read those dojins when I was like in
むしく沈め
like high school, so they're pretty formative.
等しく沈め
They're old now, so I wouldn't be surprised if most people don't know what they are in this
夢
chat.
のガチ
But for those that do know,
では良い
yeah,
ので
they're pretty cool.
僕らの
お前と一緒だと
Honestly, you don't have favorite dojins, you just have favorite artists. I mean, I thought my favorite artist was Kinoshita Jiro before, but it was just the one dojin, honestly, that I liked so much.
ような引きず
You
り
never
込
leveled seated Sandayu, only skill and attack,
等し
you
く
think.
沈め
I guess you're not a big fan of him after all.
俺
I
様の
think he's pretty
背を
cute.
引きずり
Also, his art's pretty hot.
引きずり込
Like,
ま
I
れ
don't really look at human illustrated porn very often, since you could just look at
等しく
live
沈
action porn for
め
it.
ガチで
But Sandayu's is pretty good.
俺様のガブ
行こうか
Kobito, Wani, Borosu, and Dankban are your favorite artists.
引きずり込ま
I
れ
recognize those names definitely,
ガ
but
チで等し
they
く
don't leave a
沈
strong
め
enough impression in my mind that I can, put the name to the mostly because I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
等しく
Gosh, that's depressing to think your dojins growing up are internet antiques. I mean, that's fine.
等しく沈め夢のガチで
では良いの
Everyone
で
has their own
僕
antiques
ら
to
の
look
答
back
えを
onto,
出すと
and
しよう
in a way, it's a nice way to say you have your own piece of history that no one else can really emulate. People will look back and not get it, but they'll always have a special place in your heart because you were there at the right place at the right time.
その
Very,
人
very
に
old.
手を出
You
す
think he's that, but also a bit too generic. Him having the same looking character in other games definitely did not help as they appeared over time. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, I guess that piece of knowledge does really
俺
good,
様
but
のガブ
I didn't know about that. I just thought he was hot.
等しく沈めガチで等しく沈め
Also, his voice actor is pretty cool.
俺様の
Sounds pretty cool,
ガブ
rather.
行こうか
What was who did Haster? Oh, so the one with the overly big
引
bulge
きずり
who's
込まれ
目を
the
ガチで
macro.
等しく沈め俺様の背をガブリ
Reaches parody level.
等しく沈
Yeah,
め
there's like 4 or 5 characters that look exactly like Sanyu. Zam.
等しく沈め俺様の背を指をガブリといく
It's not macro, it's hyper.
沈め
I mean, true, but also
三日
illustrated cocks are already disproportionately large. And the fact that
等しく沈め
Borusu's is even larger than those. You can make like half an argument for them being macro. You instantly recognize the character as Sandayu's artist, different artist as well. I see. Sandayu and his clone jutsu shenanigans. Is that how it is? Somehow his clones seem to be evading me.
夢のガチ
行こうかでは良いので
He does have evasion as kid.
等しくガチで三日月よくそったれガブリと夢のアンドバリズをガチで毎度少々お待ちをガブリと行くぞ俺様の毎度ガブリと行くぞ夢ガチ
行こうか。
毎度ガブリと行くガブリと行くガブリと夢のアンガチ
行こうか。
毎度やるやゆガチ鋼の鍛錬ただ積み重ね悪いライオンにガブリと行かれちまったな感想はどうだ悪趣味だってへっまあなさあガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ引きずり込まれガチで等しく沈め俺ガブ引きずり込まれよ等しく沈めガチで等しく沈め俺様のせいが
I think I vaguely remember in my original form for Chapter 12 Attack Seeds. I was like fully attack seeding 1.5 units before. But time-wise, it might have been... I feel like this one's already getting a lot better. Pretty much done Girimekhala already. Do I prefer Zoe to Oz? Not really. The only reason why I have Zoe right now is because I got tired of having Oz up. And the only reason I had Oz up was because I got tired of having Zoe up, so I just switched between the two. They're kind of, I don't know. They both leave a neutral impact to me. They're not bad, but they don't like catch my attention, really.
Yo! な、引きずり込まれよ。ガチで等しく沈め。俺様の背をガブル。等しく沈め。目を覚ま。ガチで等しく沈め。俺様の背ガブル。
行こうか。
等しく沈め。引きずり込まれよ。
You like them. They're very cute characters, and you like how they've been written so far. I mean, they haven't showed up in the main story yet, besides that one time. There's like, hey, cool Goni, can you show me your telescope? Hey, buddy! Now say aw! Huh? How many hours are you doing, by the way? 3 hours in total, so does it, this stream is about half done now. Yeah, we're making okay progress. After this, after after these drinks again, I'm gonna use my attack seeds. So we'll be done with Girimekhala at the halfway point. I just realized you turned Summer Oz to Zoe and never heard the Oz lines at all. I can do that the next time we switch. I'm not partial to either, really. Your stamina drinks are running out. Wow, lucky you. Have you been grinding hardcore all this time? We got a lot of drinks since the last time we had a campaign. I'm pretty sure I used all my drinks last time then. Like, all the drinks I have now are just straight up from that period of time from Chapter 14 campaign to now. Don't be mean, they showed up in night clothes. God, game ended 2 seconds in. Right, they showed up for that too. I forgot to mention that part, but that was essentially what they said. Huh? What's that over there? And then the world ended. He spent drinks inefficiently. Oh, you use them outside of campaigns? Disgusting. Get this man out of here. You've been in a perpetual state of hand to mouth with stamina drinks for the past 2 years. Are you saying you just use them constantly? I guess that's fine. No one says this. You have to be pretty degenerate to be optimal in this game. This is what the degeneracy looks like in terms of using your drinks only during campaigns. It's not a good idea, but was desperate for coin. It certainly was not a good idea. Even if 0 coin for the majority here, that's on you.
等しくし俺様の
Ariza.
せいや
You just let us.
ではデュアリ
But in Twilight Pool, they're good. Maybe I have a soft spot for lion characters.
等しく沈む
I haven't read the story of that, obviously, because it's not transient, so I don't know.
破りといくぞ
It seems a lot of people have a soft spot for lions, though, since somehow Snow made it all this way. Snow's pretty fucking mid as a character, in terms of characterization. And also, he's literally like the cuck representative in terms of every time you interact with him, it's like, I choose Claude first. I better realize that, bitch. It's like, what do people choose like Snow for? Do people really like male lactation that badly? I don't get it.
破りといくぞ
Whatever. I'm not sure if we'll make the next round.
破りとい夢の
Considering he's facing.
行こうか
Is he facing it? Oh yeah, he's facing the other Oni non-dog and thing, Human who somehow beat Lave. I think that's coming out tonight.
それもじきに忘れてしまう
Male lactation is staple. It's somewhat of a turnoff for me. Like honestly, I might stick around if there's Vor in my porn, but like, if there's male lactation, like I'm already out. I'm like already tapping out and closing and going back and trying to erase it from my memory. It's not that I find it gross or anything. It's just like, you know, can't relate. What? Should I imagine myself coming from my nipples? I don't get it. I guess it only makes sense for bisexual people, I guess, who, you know, get titties better than I do. Functional titties. And it's like people are simply looking for Alfred. Of course he's going to put Batman first. I don't really think that's... Do people really like butlers that much? It's such a mid-trope. Did he say gore or Vor? Vor. I did not say gore. Still, don't think there's a character who's been done dirtier than Nyarlathotep, but had 2 events perfectly suited for him, and he got stuck being a bit player both times. And he might have a more relevance for chapter 14. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But it is the Entertainers chapter. You stick around for Vor, but male lactation's a no. Yeah, you heard right. Well, not for all Vor, but it's like... Hold on, let me use these taxis before we get into it. Ruining my momentum here. Good to use it on. What did I use it on last time? Did I finish Girimekhala? I can't even remember. Alright. Yamete kudasai. There you go. Finally, Ara's taste. What do you mean Ara's taste? Ara likes Vor because he wants to eat you up. Well, I certainly do. I've seen you. Alright, we are going to be choosing the next victim to attack Seed. I'm actually not sure, since we're running low on good choices here. Maybe we'll do Loki, since Adam just sits there and hits people incidentally. He does have defense piercing, that might be a good reason to attack Seed him. Okay, Loki it is. Hef? No. Stop with the Hef jokes. Hef will never be good. Do not drink the alien trick Kool-Aid. Hold on, that was like a 50 seeds until I just used right now, right? 50... Yeah, I was at 99, so I wasn't capped out. That's good. If you're wondering why I'm using 5s at a time, it's because it's just a coin thing. It's better for the coin that way. Alright, you forgot Loki existed. I still remember him. He's pretty funny as a character to use. Has a lot of strong effects for a 3-star as well, so I don't mind putting it on a 3-star even if I don't have this 5. Alright, go to attack boss now. I guess we could do Yuma. Actually, let's see my other taxi choices. Anyone better? Not really. Blossoming Kurikane of all people. Alright, fine, we already got you, man. He does board wipe. That's it. No, not the full boosts. Auto clears. You wish you could forget that last round quest. Alright, I have a taxi doll cactus. Also, Gabriel. I'm getting to attack seeding everyone. Gabriel's not like... Oh, I have Valentine Gabriel. That's why I attack seeded them. Because she is a damage dealer with her Berserk at 80%. Questions for everyone. How did you all learn about Housamo? Because you learned about him from Horkeu, but it piqued your interest with Shino and Lovecraft. Feel free to answer in chat. I'll get my thoughts on that later. I'm just deliberating right now. Mighty? Yeah, let's just toss him Thunder Mighty. MRM porn. My reading manga. Everyone loves my reading manga, apparently. A bit bigger than I expected it to be. See, I'm with Harvey Kai's. It's more like a Rules of War E621. I'm surprised no one's mentioned E621. Was it just me who browses that? You saw images of Bastium and Horkin game on forum way back when. Stayed for the fanfic touch-all. That is definitely an introduction. Honestly, you just saw Tez and you're like, yes, please, give me the deal cat. And Tez has a surprisingly large amount of appeal to people. I don't really get it since it's just like a panther. Do people like have some sort of established connection with panthers? Alright, we'll be using 7 more drinks, so this will be stopping at 107 remaining. Still haven't acquired the 5-star deal cat. That is... I mean... It's unfortunate for you, but it's not a big loss gameplay-wise. You just got shown images of the game with naked teachers and spandex singers and thought it's funny something like that existed. That's your introduction? There's not that much images of those teachers or the angels. Despite that, like, you're even able to be interested like that. Although it's perfectly in character for you to be able to join the game just for that. Didn't mention E6 for Dojin browsing, but it's a decent calorie site. Decent? It's like the... E6 is probably the best browsing site in terms of, like, literal browsing. I know people make fun of its tag list, but I don't think there's any other image hosting website that has had a more thorough tagging method. They have, like, the species of every single animal. They have like the scenarios they're in. They have the copyrights. They have the interactions, the locations. It's ridiculous how thorough it is. In fact, I have this pet theory in my mind that someone could theoretically go through all the images in E621 through some sort of script and prepare an AI using the the images associated with the tags, because there is a ton of images in there and a lot of data they could pull from that is very well curated. Like, you'd be lucky at best to get 1 or 2 tags for, you know, the images that Google uses for their street cars and all that shit. But with, like, that, with E621, there's just like a shit ton more of almost unnecessary tags, to be honest. He's a black cat voiced by Dio, yeah, I'm sure everyone's aware of that. You went from Snout and Shino to many types of lizards and dragons. Just gonna give up that to Trongdick. People love Dio's voice actor. He's alright. Usually your go-to if you're not in headspace for U18.
俺様のが
I think I use that sometimes too. I'm not sure what you might mean by headspace though. Is it just like you don't want to bother browsing through the shit, you know, most recent thing or?
俺様のガブル
Like I feel like you attain just like my reading manga. There's like they're not well updated. Maybe I'm not looking at it frequently enough, but every time I look there, there's just a bunch of like super old crap. I guess because they keep on pushing the old crap to the top because of the comments.
俺様のせよが
That Kihito Koyasu owns actually. Don't know who that is.
が
You only started using E6 a few years ago. You were using Fur Affinity at the time when Housamo released. Oh, that's... I mean, Fur Affinity is not strictly for porn.
ガブルといく
It's where people can actually justify half-baked that, you know, furries aren't just pornographic. For me, though, they are pretty much just pornographic. These furries exist only to make my PP go hard.
等しく沈め
夢のガチで
三日月よ
It was very early in the game that I got shown, though. You only gotta join a bit later when you got a better phone. I see. Your old phone was too old to handle how intensive Housamo was. Housamo is a very high quality game. Not just any phone can run it.
俺様のが
行こうか
They appeared in most content back then since there was almost none long. I see.
夢ガチ
That's like ancient era.
ガブル
God, you hope it doesn't come to that. I'm mad at E6 because no one's putting up any art of the smoke room characters on there. Smoke room characters? Is that like a furry dojin or something? Or a furry DN rather? I used to upload for E621. Because I had this thing where I wanted... It seemed feasible back then, but I wanted to archive all the porn that I liked. Because I had like a type that I thought was just so specific that no one else would like. Apparently, you know liking chubby furries is a lot more common nowadays, but back then, it was like, you'd be hard-pressed to find them. So I was like keen on making sure all the artists who I did know who made that art got their stuff uploaded. At some point, though, there was just more artists that were uploading it, and the existing artists uploaded more, although some eventually retired. But there's just way too much, and E621 just could no longer be comprehensive because it was very close to comprehensive, and now it's just there's too many images to deal with. You just gotta follow the artist directly if you want it to be. But even then, like, let's be real, not being comprehensive is more than enough, since when I was trying to comprehensively upload everything, that stuff like took hours for me when I was like dedicated to uploading. Like, you got better things to do in your life than uploading.
等しく沈め
Heading out now, Jabber? Thanks for staying this long. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you managed to have some good conversations or even farmed a bit. Take care. For anyone else that's still here, let's have at it.
等しく沈め
Takeda is Tez's voice actor, I see.
俺様のが
行こうか
It was more like, I had a very shitty phone with no space for any apps.
引きずり込
So, like a BlackBerry or something.
ガチで
等しく
Smoke Room's a for AVN, it's pretty good.
俺様のせよ引きず
Only pretty good.
三日月よ等しく沈め
Yeah, I don't know how people have like the emotional capacity to handle for AVNs.
等しく沈め
I don't mean like,
ハンドバリガチ
行こうか出よう
you know, I can handle things like Danganronpa when there's a bunch of murders and you know, they make you cry and all
等
that.
しく沈め
But I feel it's a bit different with furry VNs because you're gonna eventually fuck them in the end, right? It's just weird that, you know, there are routes for different fucking, and you just gotta like put on a plain face suddenly and be like, I do not know this person I just fucked in this other route, and it's time to fuck this person instead. I can't really mentally do that, so that's why I don't really participate in furry VNs. I tried with more Natsu. Yeah, I didn't really want to play the other route since I did Shuichi because it was just too difficult for me to move down that.
ではピュアリング
Yo, Jackie, welcome!
等しく
Wait,
沈
this 39 megabyte game is too much for your phone? It probably wasn't really designed to handle apps. It was one of those, most likely one of those older phones that
行
was
こう
just,
か出
you
よ
know, supposed to be functional for business, not for apps like these.
目を
等しく沈め
俺様のガー
If you were in a Dangan game, will you survive, killed, or be the killer?
等しく沈め
To be honest, I'm probably just gonna be killed, but
俺様の
I'd like to,
ガ
you know,
雷
I'd like to be the killer.
悪いライオンに
That'd be character growth for me.
ちまったな
If I didn't actually just die straight up from someone else, but actually had the nerve to kill someone else.
まあな
さあ終局をは
Keep farming Austin? Oh, you know it.
ガチで
等しく沈め
俺様のガブル
Just do the routes you don't care about first. But then you do care about them once you get there. You know, it's like, are you supposed to just like, you know, fucking
俺様のガブ
tunnel vision to the one who's like unga bunga to you? Or the ones that you don't give a shit about, and then suddenly you do give a shit about them? It's like, what?
等しく沈め
Besides, it's more not to, I wasn't really tunneling for Kushi. Even though I would have intentionally, like, let's be real, the routing system for that was completely unpredictable. I don't even know how to do it. The first couple runs I did it was just the default for the Hiko route.
沈め
So it was just like, it felt very natural in a way that I didn't really know how to deal with it
夢のガチ
because the relationships grew in unpredictable ways. You just randomly hang out in some location that has, you know, you won't know they'll be there, but then they are there. And that has a nice feel to it, and that made it feel a lot more real rather than like pre-planned. And I think that added to the feeling of it would be wrong for me to switch after doing this since it was a naturally built relationship. I guess maybe that's why people like Amicus so much, because it's just like the one person they simp for. But I don't know. It also feels weird to be playing a game where everyone who purchases it is collectively jerking off over the single character.
引きずり込まれ
Like,
ガチで
等しく
I want to
沈
be
め
able to like someone special among your selection, rather than just like this curated product that has been turned into a marketable plushie.
等しく
Cool
沈め
story, but you're a twink, so I don't care.
ガチで
等しく
So
沈
simple
め
as that. Wow. I think my heart's a bit bigger than you guys, if that's really how you guys get by.
俺様のせガブ
I thought I could be pretty cold sometimes, but I don't think I could do that, to be honest. Like, for all I shit on twinks, like, that's just like a very surface level thing for me. For me, the thing I care most about is kind of not something I can seek out. It's like an established relationship that's built over time.
俺様の
I'm
せ
not saying that's what I'm seeking in real life, but no, I'm talking too much. I got distracted. No!
等しく沈め
Somehow I didn't die.
等しく
Okay,
沈め
let's try that again.
俺様のせよ
This is not gonna
ガ
work.
ブ
No,
ル
that's not enough. No, that's not enough. Okay, I'm not gonna run with this. Let's just back out.
等しく沈め
Yeah, I do that in Free VNs too, doing it in King's Guard right now. Just picking the people you don't care about first. Yeah, I don't have the emotional detachment to be able to do that. I know that's a natural thing for most people, to just like not get too attached to people. Maybe I don't know. But for me, it's just like once I've already invested in people, I can care about them a lot, even with twinks.
さあ終局をは
引きずり込まれよガチで
Like, for example, some of you know this, there's actually only a single person I met in real life in Housamo, because they just apparently have infinite travel expenses. This person called Gun on the server. He's like Omega Twink. Like,
俺様のせ
you know,
行こうか
off the bat, from what I could tell, you know, not my type or anything. But, you know, I grew to like him a lot more once we actually met in person.
ガチで
等しく沈め
俺様のガブル
三日月等しく沈め
No, this is not a mission of me succumbing to the hard mind Harvey. Besides, I don't think the Council of the Harveys will accept having a twink among their kind so easily.
ガブリといく
Not in the dash kind. Honestly, prefer Cassio over Amicus. One step closer. No.
俺が
行こうか
三日月よ
But yeah, for all the shit I give twinks, it's like it's strictly just a secondary thing in the end. It really is just the person that I get to know. This is the most important thing. Not trying to be romantic here. That's just what I observed so far.
目を
等しく沈が
行こうか。
雷よ等しく沈め
夢ガチで
ではピュアリング。
くそったれガブリと行くぞ夢のアンドバリゾガチ毎度
Amicus is in most gay furries' awakenings during their childhood for some reason. Really. I mean, it's a different generation. For other people, apparently a build tiger was super popular for the old guard. I don't know anything about that, really. I saw build tiger like when it was originally released or near it anyways. I didn't think too much about it, but a lot of people did apparently. For me though, yeah, what was my awakening, I guess, would be the Mecha Reko series as well as the, what's it called? The Trouble series. And those ones really spoke to me, even though they did have cute furries which drew me in the first place. The reason why they stick with me and to this day, compared to all the other fat dojins I've seen that are furries, is because they actually had some pretty significant character writing in them. With real trauma and real issues and real difficulties and real struggles that I could relate to.
格闘技も少しかじったことがあってね。
But that was 5 years ago.
怪我がないなら
It was a long time ago, but why are people still talking about it? I was just assuming it was constantly being updated like one of those forever in beta games. Progressively released in chunks. It usually takes you a while to be invested in a person, but as long as you're neutral, you think you can get emotionally invested in a friendly level at least. I see. Yeah, honestly, this might be a character flaw of mine then. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing that I get attached to people like that. It's hard for me to stay detached once I know someone to like some easy amount of level.
等しく沈め
俺様の背を指をしが
No!
等しく沈め
Fucking hell. Some of these movements are way too complicated to do on hand manually.
等しく沈め
We winning! Thanks for pulling up.
ではピュアリング。僕らも答えを出すとしよう。
Honestly, your furry awakening was either SWAT Cats or John Talbane from the Darkstalkers. Yeah, I don't know what those stories are about.
まあな
Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm not really exploring new dojins or VNs. It's just like I already have so much investment in Mecha Reko and Trouble, and I don't really want something else to like step in and be like, here's something better. Your formative experience was lesser. I don't know if that's true, but you know, it's a working theory. It
俺
could be
様
part
の
true.
背をガブリ
Actually, you should stop dying. I lived. It was fine. I died once so far in the game. I'm kind of surprised that Oz hasn't failed his all range yet. Let's go
俺
affiliations.
様のガブ
It
リ
isn't guaranteed. It does feel sometimes.
等しく沈
Hope the Neferu spin-off gets updated soon.
等しく
Don't know what that is either.
目をす
Furry Awakening for me was an artist named Husky92. That name does ring a
俺
bell.
様の背をガブリ
Husky92.
等しく沈め
Why does that name ring a bell?
等しく沈め
夢のアンドバリゾ
Is Husky92 the one that made Until the Snow Melts?
沈め
Because I don't talk about that one that much, but that one, even though I read it much later, also is a dojin that holds a very special place in my heart.
俺様の
It's not
背を
furry per se.
行こうか。
It does feature like a bull minotaur, but the other one isn't orc. Oh yeah, that's other than Mecha Reko and Trouble, that's probably my favorite dojin. It's not even dojin because it's English. Comic of all
俺様
time.
の背をガブリと行く
That's
ぞ
him. Oh yeah, I love his work. That was like so good. I don't know what other people thought about it. I saw his other works. Honestly, they're pretty degenerate and kind of like low plot. But that one, for some reason, he really went all out with the plot. Maybe it's just me and getting too attached. Maybe you guys thought it was cheesy when you read it, but for that story, it was like I really felt the vibe of, you know, they're forced to live together as enemies in wartime, and then they build that relationship over time, and they then face the unknown world in the end, which is, happy for them, but we don't know if they're gonna make it actually happy in the world. And for me, that was very touching because, of course, I can only feel the anxiety about my own life not fitting that well either. Me trying to present myself in real life was all my interests is often a struggle, and I don't know if it'll work out. So moments like that, it speaks to me because there's a personal connection there. SWAT Cats was a 90s cartoon that was pretty good. Okay, that's not what I expected. And Darkstalkers was one of Capcom's not Street Fighter games. I see. I don't know if I've heard of SWAT Cats before, but for some reason, when I heard you say SWAT Cats, I felt like it was something like a 90s cartoon. Maybe it's just a silly name. Oh yeah, for those that are interested in knowing what I like, and don't want to watch a bunch of high school children fucking each other, because that is what Trouble and Echo Reco is, then I suggest you check out instead, what's it called? Until the Snow Melts by Husky92. Fantastic story. Definitely, left a long impression on me. Surprisingly, because I was just looking at porn. Which was the same for Mecha Reco and Trouble, but then they bludgeoned me with the feels. You do this interactive comic where the audience picks certain outcomes and the story progresses based on those choices. Until the Snow was the one where it wasn't intact. That explains it. Pre-made story, not some bullshit where people are just picking based on thirst. It makes sense. God, I love Until the Snow Melts. It was so good! Everyone should check out that comic. And no, it's not chubby. They're actually both muscular, so if you need that check first, then it'll be up your type. Necros fully blossomed next. That is nice. You can now pair him up with your other snipe palm players. Actually, that was my demonstration. I only had 3 or 2 snipe palm players, but that's what I paired with Masashi for the demo I made. Two-hour mark. I got in there. So thankfully, I will have a full free day tomorrow. That would normally be scheduled for more streaming, but the stream was actually, if some of you may have noticed, the stream was scheduled originally for tomorrow instead, but I figured since I already had planned today with something else, it would be better to do them both at the same time so that I can fully focus on video creation for tomorrow. So that's what's eating me up right now. I can only take solace in the fact that once I'm done this anniversary stuff, it's gonna come down a tiny bit more. You did notice, and you would have preferred tomorrow, to be honest. Sorry, but come on. I declined hanging out with you today when you messaged because I was very stressed with making videos and the streams and all that. Moving it to today was a decision on my part to make it more manageable. Because spreading it out thin would just reduce my energy to do a single thing. After doing this comic that's based off historical events during this part in Greece, it's very good, but it's all humans, not furries. Maybe I've seen it before. I feel like I've checked Husky's other stuff and I wasn't really impressed, unfortunately. So it really does seem like there's a lot of one and dones that really touch me. Whether it was Takakyo's Trouble or it was whether it's Takakyo's Trouble or Kinoshijiro's Mecha Reco or Husky's Until the Snow Melts.
夢ガチで
ではピュアリング
等しく沈め
夢のガチで決めるぜガチ
目を
ガブリとガ
行こうか
三日月よ
ガチ
There was a bit more because
等しく沈め
I don't know what SOD is.
ガブリといく
SOD released today a bit before the stream started, but I guess you can play it again tomorrow.
夢のアンドバリズガチ
行こう
I
か
don't know what you mean by SOD. Is that a game that came out? I don't even know.
やりゃできるじゃねえか
Anyways, I'd like to check these all out eventually, but honestly, I'm most likely just gonna forget it, unfortunately, by the time I do have free time. Right now, my priority is making the videos, and after that, there's just a shit ton of anime I haven't caught up with. I mean, I was caught up with them until this anniversary stuff happened, and now I'm just behind a bunch of episodes. Currently watching a rerun. Everyone's watching that right now. Pretty good and relaxing. There's also what's it called? That one about I'm suddenly forgetting about Migi to Deli. Migi and Deli is kind of a fucked up, crazy. I mean, that's kind of funny. No, very funny. There's a Hulk, which is kind of stupid in the very first half. That's very hard to get through, although it's very funny, and it gets better later on story-wise. There's the one about the curses.
だけど
Kaijutsu,
その時期に
Kaijutsu Kaisen, Ninjutsu Kaisen, I don't even know, something like that.
究極をはじ
目ガチで
等しく
That's
沈
because
め
SOD released today before the stream started. It's the WoW season in Discovery, but I also heard that, oh, I see. The queues are pretty bad, so maybe it's buzzing. I see.
俺様
Getting to
の
WoW again, huh? What anime are you watching? I'm currently going through the list. So there's me and Dali. It's fucking bananas what's happening there. It is a comedy, but not explicit. It's just more like
等しく沈め
huge what the fuck moments that make you laugh from how bizarre these people are acting.
行こうか
Very funny.
等しく沈
Probably the funniest in the season. How it's pretty funny too. I enjoy
め等しく沈
like humor, although the story itself makes it hard to go through in the
め
beginning.
等しく沈め
俺様のせい
There's a
三日月
Ninjutsu Kaisen, whatever it's called. Jujutsu Kaisen, that's it. Jujutsu Kaisen. It's good. Spy X Family was your having her own arc finally and not just being a background character.
ではピュアリング僕らの
Freeren, as they said, which is about the
笑いが止まらんぜ
an elf mage who lives for a very long time, and after the Dark Lord is defeated, what else is she gonna do with her life? God, you don't even know what to watch even. The closest thing you watch is podcasts. Well, no one watches TV anymore since everything is just on like live stream services like
さあ
Netflix.
ガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ引きずり込まれるガチで
等しく沈め
And even then, I just
俺様
I just
の
watched it pirated. I'm pretty poor. Like for real. You have no idea how fucking poor I am.
等しく沈め
Spy X Family is really overrated. It is.
等しく沈め
俺
I
様
mean, it's
の
enjoyable.
せいを
I'm not gonna say it's
破り
bad, but it is overrated.
等しく沈め
I will say though, I like the style a lot of the title sequences. That isn't saying much, but it is very
俺
cool
様の
that
せいを
it's inspired my
指をし
some of my thumbnails.
引きずり引きずり
None of fan-made merch at Isan convention is insane. I don't know, it's just people being boring, liking families or whatever.
等しく沈め
Alright, well,
俺様の
you
せ
up
い
like
を
this, maybe? I don't know.
行こうか出よう
等しく沈め
俺様のせいを
ではピュアリ
Red Chainsaw Man, and that's it for manga right now. Yeah, that was it had a pretty good season.
俺様のせいを
I don't know what's gonna happen with the next. Kind of chill. I have a lot of anime right now,
等しく沈め
so I could just pull out my
俺様のせい
watching list.
行こうか
Now, I'll do my best to remember it off the top of my head. So I named a few by now, but
ガチで
I know there's a lot more this season. This season's really good. It started off kind of horrendously shit, but it's getting better.
俺の前からみんなが消えただけどその時期に
Alright, fine. I'll pull out the list.
忘れてしまう
さあガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ。引きずり込まれよ。ガチで
等しく沈め。
俺すが引きずり込まれよ。
So it seems like I'm also watching the Apothecary Diaries. That's good. Under La Frontier. It's a bit corny, but I like the honesty with what it achieves to do. It's just like isekai essentially. One Piece, of course. Undead Unluxpert, quite good. And Goblin Slayer. Dr. Stone. And Tokyo Revengers. And Komonohashi's Forbidden Ductions. So we got some fan service in Tokyo Revengers. These gangster motherfuckers, 2 of them actually kissed, so gay zone, I guess. But yeah, I'm enjoying all these so far. If you'd like more webtoon manga comics get adapted, like Tower of God or God of High School. God, I vaguely remember there was like an anime adaptation of a Tower of God or whatever, and I saw it and it was like cool, and then it never got adapted, and I forgot the story completely now. I don't even know what it's about. Unordinary and Reverse should definitely get reanimated. Yeah, I can't really corroborate any of that because I don't read nearly as often. The one time I decided to randomly pick up something to read was just like from the random recommended reading list from the anime site I use, and it suggested this manhwa called what's it called? The Legend. And oh my god, it was so fucking awful. I was flabbergasted by why people watched it. Well, I kind of knew the reason why, but it was such a shitty reason why people watched it. It was like this story of this guy who fucking got isekai or reborn into his younger life because he saved the kid. So he was, of course, that means he's a good person for saving a kid, from getting hit by a car. So that means he was granted like all these god powers in his new life of reliving his life. And it is like, oh yeah, I deserve this because I saved that kid that one time. And he just like knows all the stocks and is like stealing other people's creative properties, but saying, oh, but I'm doing it for the greater good. And no one needs to get in my life of living an easy life and taking care of my mom and having like 1 million babes and bitches and 10 million houses. And it was like completely played straight, not even as a joke. This guy is just like, yeah, I deserve all of this and I worked hard for it. Even though they obviously did. It was so fucked up. People fucking living their wish fulfillment fantasies like without shame. It's actually made me want to vomit. But whatever. Yeah, honorable plots can get pretty wish fulfilling too whenever they tread into isekai territory. There's a lot of isekais that are exactly that, and I drop immediately when I realize it's that. But that one was just like unabashedly going hardcore for it with how much it's just like I deserve all the good things and I'm gonna beat up all my bullies and that girl that I used to like who didn't choose me, well now I get to like cuck her and choose like a supermodel girlfriend. That literally happened in the story. It was so fucked up. What the hell? It's fucking garbage. But some people love that garbage. Some people want to be a baller and don't give a shit about the people they step on. I guess that's part of the reason how I talk about how I can't really be detached from people when I get to know them. I guess a lot of people can, and that's why they can enjoy that garbage where they fucking shit on a bunch of people and say they deserve the better life and all that. No! God damn it. Okay, we don't have recharging ice, whatever. How about the next quality of life change where they get rid of that timer, please? Or at least, increase the length a tiny bit. Third time today. Well, actually, second time, because this, the 1.5 times it happened, it was just, I still managed to clear. Yeah, wish fulfillment is pretty nauseating. It's like, it's almost like speaking to your, this is you have to like it because we like you so much and everything likes you. It's If you know anything about the stories I said I loved from the dojins of Mecha Roreko or Trouble or Until the Snow Melts, the triple threat for me, you know, they aren't just winners that always win. There's a lot of suffering for the characters, and a lot of miscommunication, and, you know, just a lot of unknowns. Maybe those comics don't speak to other people because they have it good, but for me, you know, my life's always been a very restricted one in that sense, so... feeling those characters, you know, survive for their own right to have their own sort of happiness. That's something that connected with me a lot.
僕らの答えを出すとしよう。
The Chinese thing anime that you've seen with Wild Thoughts.
も少しかじったことがあって
There was this one that was popular last season that was kind of fucking awful immediately. But this guy who, you know, was bullied miserably and they hated their life and, you know, they're about to kill themselves and then they broke the glass and then it's like apparently they inherited from their uncle some hidden room to another world where they could infinitely level up and all their skills and including improve their appearance. And I thought it was going in a different direction. I thought it would be like, you know, he would learn to love himself, but instead, no, they just deleted his original appearance, you know. And that was depressing to me. That wasn't just awful in terms of wish fulfillment. It was also like... It sent a really bad vibe in terms of, you know, you have to reject who you are and instead aim to be, you know, the most typical example of, you know, the it man. Rather than trying to find your own charm in yourself. It's essentially just saying, you know, fat people are ugly and stupid by itself and you have to have like an isekai to change your life around and you have to aim for something else. Rather than trying to find something good about what is in your life. It made me sick reading that. You keep making the same damn story every time. It's not the exact same story, but it's very often the same story. Isekais, I still kind of dislike them strongly in principle, but I understand the environment in Japan a lot. It's just a bunch of overworked people that don't catch breaks, and, you know, life isn't what they thought it was, especially people who wanted to be mangaka or animators when they were younger, and now they realize it's fucking slave conditions, like what's happening with Jujutsu Kaisen students Mappa. And so it's just like they're taking out their frustration in all these isekai writings where, you know, they're escaping literally from reality into some better version. And it's like, if it was just one, it would be like, you know, fucking terrible and annoying. But if it's like a trend across all anime, that's just more worrying about their culture there. And it's like a collective cry for help that they're sending internationally that we're all just ignoring and saying, oh, this anime sucks. But I'm seeing it's just like Japan's pretty kind of fucked with the work culture there. Oh, that boss had to inflict countdown because his HP was remaining very high. Yeah. Smoky God here is not just for the Glen. He's actually doing an important amount of damage for the turn 7 countdown. Very cool. Or was it turn 6? Something like that. The anime about him having cheat skill, that's the one. It was oh god, I hated the message for that. I just like... Are you telling me... Oh fuck, that was wrong decision. No! I'm getting heated here. Or whatever, he didn't get his unpossessed. But yeah, that was just horrible to watch. It just sent the wrong message of, if you're ugly and you're fat, your life will be miserable. You need some miracle to save you, because otherwise, good luck, you can't ever like your native self. It's just like, for someone who had to get over, you know, my anxieties about liking what I like with furries and fats and being happy about it and finding other people like it, that was like a step in a backwards direction of saying, no, you're only supposed to like the most common basic things. Fuck your unique interests. And you should be ashamed to even want to try to even be alive in that way. Yeah, I hated it so much. It actually made me like sick to stomach. Your reincarnation into your childhood self with all the knowledge that will happen in CS. Me, time to get rich. So is it plagiarism its creators until I haven't thought of it. That was pretty much the story of the fucking, what's it called? The legend. It's like literally in the story, he's like supposedly natively a master of stocks and remembers every single, you know, stock trend in the future, which is how he gets rich. But he needed capital in the beginning, so what he did to get capital was he remembered one of his favorite mangas that blew up. Well, I guess it's manhwa. And then he just copied it word for word, stole it before the creator even thunk of it. And then he made all the money. He was like, he did like a baller move with some random agent. No, I will hold you by the balls. And you will give me this share of it. And it's like, it was played off as if he earned it and he highballed it and he was a high roller and he deserved it. And completely glossing over the fact that he just straight up stole something that was not his intellectual property. And then, like, ages later, they're just like, oh, you know, well, they worked hard for it. I'll give this guy who's made the second comic, you know, that also blew up later in the future, support by giving them the money I now have. It doesn't justify it. And also, that's not how time travel plots work. That definitely wouldn't have happened if you changed that much significantly. It's so fucked up. So fucked up. One of main and its accessories are related to Daikoku and Shiva. That is surprising, considering Bayonetta actually has a lot of what's called lore behind her thing. Although I guess I'm more used to her lore connected to what's called monotheistic religion. Maybe that's just the enemies though. I don't know why I bring up Bayonetta something though. Keep it relevant if you can. Like sometimes I watch those manga recaps and it feels like you're watching the same video most of the time. Yeah, I mean, after a certain point, it's disappointing, but you gotta realize you're giving an army a demo for the first few episodes. You're not gonna commit to it once you pick it up. You drop it after the first episodes if it doesn't speak to you right. And honestly, I don't know why a lot of anime blow up when I see them in the top 10 of the week, and then I see them like, really? There's also this other one that was like about this witch survivor and the world technology for the season, and the animation for that was fucking terrible. I don't know why people hyped it up in the beginning. I think the only reason why it got hyped in the beginning was because they stripped the woman mentor naked before they killed her. It was like, okay, fucking seriously, people without even being ashamed to show it, even though that she fucking died in the end, and it's supposed to be a sad moment. They stripped her naked, and that's the only reason I can think of why that blew up at all. The Mallet of Rewards is related to Goku and Moon of Mahakala. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, never watched that one. I saw the title and the protagonist one time was long. The protagonist looks basic and all three peek into another anime video. It was a lot worse than that, but yeah. It is related to Shiva. Durga in Housamo, Durga is Beta as Claus. I actually never played Bayonetta. I purchased it as a gift, but I never played it. He already has Ardor. Delete. Rare A-turn. Oh, I can target gold for this. I'm not doing it. It's 107. Light novel name nowadays are so simple that I wonder why they get popular. I mean, wouldn't it be better that way than having like a fucking paragraph long title like a lot of these guys do? Yeah, I keep on moving these guys in the wrong position. No! God damn it, he got confused. He can't move to the side, can he? I hate this! I need to remember to move Smokey got to what's called in front rather than back whenever he's pushed forward like that. Yeah, that one was exceptionally remarkable. I don't know why it got so popular. It was the worst case of isekai-ism ever. Shangri-La's pretty trashy too, but, you know, it does not devolve into trying to live a better life. It's very honest about, you know, just a gamer playing video games and, you know, enjoying it to its fullest. It's kind of corny though. It's like treating these like cool moments about guilds and, you know, killing bosses and being player killing as if they were actually cool, and then there's just like kind of regular game things.
きずり込まれよ。
根を
ガチで
等しく沈め
俺様の背を破る。
いか
引きずり込まれよ。引きずり
等しく沈め等しく沈め
ガチで
ではピュアリング僕らのこと
悪いライオンにガブリといかれちまったな。感想はどう
But yeah, my top picks for this season, out of all the ones I mentioned before, it would be
な引きずり込まれ
根を
ガチで
等しく
Apothecary
沈め
Diaries, Migi and Dali,
俺様の背を
and there's a bunch of sequels to things. There's also free run. Yeah, so those three. Undead Unlock's pretty good, but you don't have to watch it.
等しく沈め
ガチで
等しく沈め
俺様の
行こうか
等しく沈め等しく沈め根を
ガチで
等しく沈め
What's the play here? Should I move him to the back? I said I shouldn't. Maybe I should just do
俺
this.
様の背を
No!
指破る。
等しく沈め
Yeah, this was not the play.
少々お待ちを。
等しく沈め
Whatever, I can salvage this. But I shouldn't have done that.
俺様の背を
Okay, there you go.
行こうか
雷よ
What made it interesting is that the creator was definitely a gamer when he wrote that story, and it reflects like that. Are you talking about Jungle of Frontier? Or are you talking about a thing? The cheat code thing. The cheat code thing was fucking trash. Never watch that. Don't be trash. Don't watch it.
雷よ
You're left with 10 drinks of each. Gonna take a break. Oh, wow. Nice job.
等しく沈め
I see that as I accomplished the exact same thing. You should always make a point to keep in mind what you started with Mega Man to sort of track your speed.
根を
I'm always glad I check it out before the stream begins.
俺が
行こうか
So if you are gonna show them up with that all range. Yeah, I actually attack seeded Swookie God, even though I know it doesn't make a difference in the end. But I attack seeded him just in case. It does. I know it doesn't, but choke him.
ガブリとい
Good
く
night, on me. Pokemon Arena.
夢のアンドバーリゾートへガチ毎度。
One Nights of the Apocalypse on Ruse. I
いやできる
have
さ。
not seen that yet.
星様にされちまい
What
そう
happened to us? Oh, I got wiped out. That's fine. Yeah, this round is honestly not the worst it's been.
少々お待ちを。
We can make it.
ガチで
People die half the time in this quest for me.
少々お待ちを。夢のガチ毎度。少々お待ちを。夢ガチで決めるぞ。少々お待ちを。ガチ鋼の弾力。またの
The
お
four
越しは。
kids of Apocalypse? Meh. Okay.
ガチで
So you have different opinions here.
お越しは。
Oh yeah, my top three: Free Ren, Apothecary Diaries, and Migi to Dali.
前からみんなが消えただけどそれもじきに忘れてしまう
さあガチボ
Yeah, good night, Romino. Wait,
引
what?
きずり込ま
I think that might be a bot. There is no way this guy has fucking
れ俺さんガブリ
Azina and Zoe. Feel free to delete those comments by Romino. What the fuck? There's no way we have two people named Romino
ガ
with
チで
等しく
this
沈
shit
め
commenting, and that's irrelevant to the topic.
俺様のガブ
行こうか
等しく沈め
All of the four characters are 16 years old.
等しく
Spoilers.
沈
That's
め
like
根を
half beyond me.
で
等しく沈め
俺様の背を引きず
Ah, the first Osfield of the day somehow.
等しく沈め
ガスガス
Yeah, it's unsalvageable if he doesn't.
沈め
If he gets possessed. I'm not gonna bother with that. I don't really understand. I have a pet theory of why those bots exist, to just comment something and drop something that's irrelevant, and then Like, even if they're not spamming anything, my best guess of what they're doing is they're collecting data in terms of what is allowed and what is not allowed, so that they'll eventually make a more malicious bot later.
等しく沈め
俺様の背をガブッ引きずり込まれよ
Nowadays, I tend to avoid anime that just feature a bunch of kids. Well, it's not really kids that I'm averse to. It's more like the high school setting specifically. I don't want to be traumatized by my history back then. Like, I already graduated. Let's bury the lead, not bring it back up, please.
等しく沈め
俺様の背をガブッ
Replaying Brilliant Diamond? Forgot how bad random encounters were after 3 games of no random encounters. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of random encounter games that puts Pokemon.
行こうかではデュアルに僕ら
Well, at least there are no hot sexy ladies near your areas. 18 plus videos here. Well. Oh well. All the hot sexy bears though. And Grinder, that's what. Speaking of bears. Yeah, part of the reason why... Like, I know I said I'm not naturalized, but come on. The fucking culture is kind of messed up when it comes to hookup culture. You just go in, everyone's so detached, and then you have sex, and then... I don't even know. I tried it out, but it's like... Maybe it's a bit too detached. It's like, if I'm putting in the effort to wash out my ass, or fucking drain through it, and spend hours trying to make it, not hours, but, you know, a lot of effort to make it clean. And then, you know, then they just pump and dump and don't even say anything. It's like, well, what is the effort even for, you know? I don't want to deal with that. That's a waste of time. You've got its first and second for me. It's gonna be the first tonight for me. There's a bear. I try, yeah. I actually have some pretty old pictures of myself in the Samo card server, if you can find them. And at your discretion. They're pretty cursed, and I look completely different back then, but I definitely tried to upgrade my style ever since then. Brazz was a huge game, like it wants to obliterate your phone storage. Oh, you mean the one with the bear, then. Bears tend to get left in the corner in gay culture. Yeah, Grinder is just like... I mean, it's pretty good. It's been okay-ish here in terms of, in Canada, there's not as much shaming as it probably is in other places. Because it's like, you know, to my understanding, in many other places for Grindr, it's just like they call you fatso or ugly, and then, you know, why are you even here? And it's actually not even just for gays, it's just for people who are muscle chasers and muscles. There are some other apps that are for like chubbies only, but they're kind of fucking trash, to be honest. Well, maybe they're good, and I just don't have a good experience with them. Your husband is dead. I don't want to remarry. I want sex. See my pussy here? I see. Yeah, I think some people leave profiles like that. They're just in it for hookups. I'm subscribed to the subreddit site of what's called LOL Grinder. And some of the things they say, they're pretty cursed. It's like, I'm in the hospital, my dad just died. Want to hook up in the closet? Like, I mean, that sounds hot, don't get me wrong, and I'd be down for that if that were the case, but my interactions have not been so lucky to be like that. Granted, during my hookup days, I did not have the glow up I currently have right now, so maybe I just wasn't finding people who were matching with me who liked how I looked back then. I'm more content with my parents now, but unfortunately I'm not really interested in joining Grindr for different reasons. One of them primarily being I'm not in a good financial situation right now. But the other is, of course, just exhaustion of disappointment from that site. Damn, you could remove this. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Even with Greller, an app for bears, you found mostly chasers, and yeah, I think I used that app before. It was kind of like that. And even then, there's this like undertone of like white bears only. To be honest, it's like it's a bit much. Like we're already like limiting ourselves as just being gay, but now it's like you have to be muscular and you also have to be white, and it's people fucking suck, man. For the classic, Am I the Asshole from Reddit? Sometimes you find really great stuff from there. I kind of get recommended a lot of stuff from that in my phone newsfeed, and I read it. I'm kind of as a guilty pleasure. But I have some thoughts on it. It seems that it has a lot of interest just because, you know, people are always wondering if what they did is the right thing or wrong thing. That is to say, you know, I kind of read it a lot as a guilty pleasure because I have that sort of thought process as well. Is what I'm doing right or wrong? But it's, you know, in that sense, I kind of appreciate it in that I feel less alone in the sense that it's not automatic for everyone, you know, to understand if what they did is right or wrong. But for me, it seems like when I read it, half the time it's obvious. But other than that, I also think that people forget what the point of that subreddit is. It's like called "Am I the Asshole?" But rather, no one really. People equate the word asshole to being wrong, you know? It's like there's a lot of situations where they're the asshole, but then they do what people perceive to be the right thing, and so they just call them not the asshole. It's like, oh, you're not the asshole for, you know, ignoring them or dropping their baby or some shit like that because they deserved it. That's like, no, like people have. It's not even am I the asshole? It's more like, am I vindictively right here? It's so fucking dumb. People don't actually, you know, care about like not being an asshole. They just don't want to be right. So you want something that's social approval, but like, let's be real. No. For all things Christian got wrong, like turning the other cheek does have some truth to it. Like, you could choose not to be an asshole and instead be the bigger person. But instead they do something horrendous and then it's like, am I the asshole? And then everyone else is like, oh no, they deserve that, you're not the asshole. Like, what? That does not preclude you from being an asshole, Jesus Christ. You get more luck with sniffies and grinder, to be honest. I'll keep that in mind for later if I ever fall back to that pit of spiraling depression. Jeez. Am I the butt plug? You can be a lot more than a butt plug if you ever come by. Not gonna lie, you watch AI voices YouTube shows of Am I the Asshole a lot, and read comments from the rest. Yeah, it's a nice social experiment to see people getting interested in adding their feedback on it, just to show that a lot of people care about, you know, if what they're doing is the socially acceptable thing. But it's not really addressed the question of are you the asshole. It seems that being an asshole, as long as you're right, is fine in society. That's the impression I'm getting. Am I the asshole because I told my husband his magician restaurant was a bad idea? I can tell you what the comments are about right now. No, your husband is delusional. He needs a reality check. Shit like that. It's like, and then you read other subreddits and you get the same sort of vibe, and it's like 2 X chromosomes, and there's like run. You know, they're bad for you. It's like toxic masculinity, and it's like, I mean, yes, but also like, is there no nuance to anything? Is there no effort to anything nowadays? Whatever. Am I the asshole for dropping my year-old hellborn Satan son in hell? The login bonus. I mean that. Okay, so we reached 107 drinks. I'm gonna use my drinks now. Or my seeds, rather. Accumulated all of the seed, yeah. So it does seem to be efficient more time-wise as well as, you know, stamina-wise. This is the second person I'm playing maxed in this stream. And yeah, it seems 7 is the magic number. I did not max it again. What am I gonna choose now? I'm kind of tempted to do Ish Blockade just so I don't have to see him near the top every time. Maybe I'll do Typhon. I think he's cute. He's only thrust range though. Well, I have his 4-star. Okay, let's do Typhon. Accumulated a lot of seed. You're still waiting for a gold dungeon. I mean, it's not the best place to spend your drinks, but your lamp oils, but whatever. To each their own. The question of what is better, seeds or coins or blossoms, will never end. Alright, who can we blossom now? So do these here. Hated for teaching my 7-year-old son to dress like a fishmonger and taking off his clothes when he uses sacred artifact. Or you mean, are you the asshole? I don't know. He said Eta. Alright, speaking of. Yeah, some of them are just for jokes, but honestly, I feel like people forget, you know, what it actually means to be an asshole. It's just like people trying to ask if they're right or wrong, which is, you know, people do not give a shit if you're an asshole or not. They just want you to be right or wrong. Which is kind of fucked up since the definition of right and wrong is very socially based. And the whims of that always changes. Oh, I'm losing momentum here. I need to take a breather. I'm gonna use this on now. Yuma. You can toss one of these attack blossoms to someone else. Maybe I'll do it for Ellie. Actually, I don't even think I attack seeded Ellie. Probably should, since I use her so often nowadays. August, am I the asshole for not giving Eta pants? I mean, it's very important he save up money for a Valentine present instead. I didn't seed Ellie. Maybe I'll do her next. Screw it, I'll give it to Kurugane. I still use him sometimes. Am I the asshole for sending kids to die? That's not really in Horkeo's control to send kids to die. As fucked up as it sounds, it's literally built into his mythology. He only exists to do that, and he wouldn't have existed if he didn't do that. So, it's just the system of his world, right? Anyway, we'll continue, but I won't be able to use 7 this time just because we'll be closing the stream within the next 20 minutes. Alright, let's do this. Target goal is 102, but we're not going to use it. I'll reach it most likely. Let's know about an Are You the Asshole thread. Well, I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one who obsessively checks over that stuff. I really should quit it though. It's a bad habit to read that stuff. It is not good for you. But, like, you're taking the advice of Redditors who, you know, won't give you the time of day for nuance, and instead will give you just the most basic level of common wisdom. No. Run. Your husband might be gay, or this is a toxic relationship, or shit like that. They're just very willing to drop the mic as if they're saying something woke, when it's more a reality. They just don't want to interface with the details. Also, I don't trust those threads. You know why? Because in those "Am I the asshole" threads, it's like it will, no matter what, it'll always be painted in favor of the person writing it. Like always. I know sometimes it ends up being they are the asshole, but let's be real. They'll always be painted in a way that will show the details of what they know from their perspective. And like, sometimes you are so sure that you're not the asshole, but then like in reality, and the person you're interfacing with, they might actually see you as the asshole, and you can't know until you've heard every perspective, right? So I think there's something dangerous about relying on those threads to understand the reality of things and make you tone deaf how things really are. You're still waiting for your received email from LifeWonders when you thought it's already like 2 days already. Whatever you emailed them, good luck with that. Sushi. Am I the asshole for saying that I'm my sister's Christmas present? Well, he certainly was the asshole for forcing that present onto me instead of let me get you wrong. Am I the asshole for rewriting my subordinate's memories to follow immersion? Yeah, he's an asshole. But, some people in Housamo are just written to be assholes. Like, they exist from the beginning as assholes, and nothing you can do about it. Oh shit, no! How many misplays today? It's fine, we're winning. You're so excited for the new Final Fantasy Gacha game releasing on Steam because it's only Final Fantasy 7. Okay. I don't know why people are so hyped for Final Fantasy 7. Like, let it go. It's a 20-year-old game. Jeez.
Yo.
I face this. They also for kidnapping my mother so she will be safe from Mailbox. It's coming soon. I don't think Faceless would ever write it that way, but honestly, I feel like Faceless would just flat out admit he was the asshole rather than ask for people's opinion, because he's just that kind of character who would, shoot himself down before anyone else can shoot him down. This kind of people tick me off the most. Sure, I mean, I do that sometimes, to be honest. Wow, there's a lot of... You guys are really vibing with this Am I the Asshole stuff. Jeez. I guess you guys read it a lot more than me then. Am I the asshole for running a slave trafficking operation and trying to force the dead to serve me? Honestly, it's all relative. I mean, it's like... It's a dog-eat-dog world at that point. But... I don't think Daikoku would ever ask that. Mostly because he's doing his stuff knowing that he's doing it from the shadows, right? He's not asking for approval here. He's gonna do things his own way. It's just a mischaracterization to have these people be asking it. it's understandable where he's coming from, even if you think it's morally reprehensible. Because in the grander scheme of it, like, this is like the 5,670,000,000th year of loops they've been in. And, you know, they gotta do what they gotta do at that point. It's like, what is morality if things are just reversible anyways? Is murder really that bad if everyone's just gonna revive in the end anyways? The permanence of murder doesn't even matter at that point. And also, they're not doing it for themselves in the end either, right? They're doing it for the sustenance of their own world. These world representatives aren't acting selfishly, but rather, you know, for the sake of the world. Even with Daikoku, although it's selfish, but it's also like he's still doing it just so that he'll be the world representative, right? Not so that Amaterasu will be. He's like wrongly kicked out of his eyes. But at the same time, it's like the title of world rep necessitates that he acts as the caretaker, which according to Takumi Nikata, he was a pretty good one for his world. 10年ハイエンドだよ。
現実の夢のアンガチマイド。少々お待ちを。
God defeated by mere mortal.
夢のガチ鋼の鍛錬。少々お待ちを。
Ugh, getting kind of hungry. I can't even remember. I think I did, but need to check.
夢のガチマイド。少々お待ちを。ガチ鋼の鍛錬。ただ積み重ね。
There you go.
競技も少しかじったことがあってね。君に怪我がないならよかった。
I hope some of you guys are farming and enjoying the stream, because as a reminder, even though it's pretty much at the end, the stream is best enjoyed while doing the farming yourself. This stuff is, to do it on your own is quite unenjoyable, so doing it with other people, talking to them about anything, and passing the time away while, you know, enjoying this mutual suffering is definitely the way to go, so you can make this optimal gameplay a little less insufferable. Every JRPG, MC kills God out of spite. I saw a pretty interesting video on that, of why do JRPGs always kill God. And it had a lot of points I didn't consider, but it was kind of touching on some things I had something in the back of my mind of, which I referenced to earlier, about the exhaustion from the, you know, Japanese society. But it seems the reason why they kill it is because they have historically had a lot of, you know, from the beginning, a lot of false gods, even if they weren't necessarily gods. There was like the era of the daimyos, I believe, something like that. Maybe not daimyos, not the right term, emperors rather. Maybe they're the same thing. And apparently there's like a lot of changes that was happening between the daimyo and the war emperor, the military general. I forget the peak of the general of the military. Essentially, there's a lot of coups and. People were never sure who they could trust as an authority figure, and even like within, supposedly that source of their definition of God is very different from you know, our understanding of God in the English world, because our understanding of these mythological gods often come from, you know, a greater authority that is just given in itself, such as with Zeus, or, you know, with the monotheistic Hebrew gods. Those gods are just like, no one gave them the power, they were just born with that power, it's unquestioned, right? But with these Eastern gods, they were not gods out of their own right, rather they became gods through, you know, spiritual practice and becoming enlightened and all that. And what you can do with these gods are, you know, they just come in numbers, and you can take them down essentially, and there'll just be another god to replace them. So these gods aren't like indestructible, they're just, you know, fellow humans like you and me. And that's the perspective of JRPGs when it comes to gods. They're not actually like these unkillable things, they're, you know, they're just people that have reached some higher level, and in their own history, whether it's because of, you know, American occupation, or the emperor and the daimyo coups, or capitalism apparently, and how they all turned out to be false gods in their own, because that just left Japan even more disillusioned after they were torn down. JRPGs are just echoing that sentiment of they want to tear down the existing higher power that just doesn't make sense and is making the world's their world suffer. It's just the higher powers, the elite essentially. It's weighing down on them. For us, you might understand the sense of elites weighing down on you with big fat cats living it up and exploiting menially paid labor for its underworkers. But in Japan, they have that as well as just the culture of deference that burdens them. And I feel that them venting it out through these JRPGs of killing God is the way they get by. In the same way they, oversaturate the market with isekais. Oh god, you guys really love your Am I the asshole stuff. Trapping my grandson and... Am I the asshole for trapping my grandson and killing 4 other people in virtual world so I don't have to let him face the apocalyptic world? Honestly, the most asshole thing he did there was just copying Hephaestus' idea. Although I guess, to be honest, he did it first, since that was just the previous loop, whereas Hephaestus did it in the main loop. Not the asshole. Or maybe you're the asshole, but only if that makes him hotter for you. That's true, some people just want them to be hot and an asshole. That adds to the hotness. Am I the asshole for kidnapping hot people and forcing them to serve me? I don't think you can boil her down to that, really. She's not fucking Celeste Ludenberg. Zeus, if she bleeds, she's my thoughts of the night. Be gone, sucked! LifeWonders out of New Zealand, Gad, and that's Tangaroa. Is he New Zealand? Well, he's from Oceania. He could be from anywhere, I guess. I mean, she does that in her opening chapter. I don't know. Does she really think Ifrit is hot? Doesn't he just lose gambling or something? I don't know. Tangaroa, the god of the sea, is actually the true form of Maori mythology when his brothers separated both the Earth's mother and the Sky's mother. Interesting. 4. She basically drags you on stage and challenges you to a rigged game. That's better. Bygones be bygones. Besides, we kind of get ourselves by having Saul on our side. Thank God you mentioned the Ifrit thing before you this time. What, do you usually mention Ifrit with the Hakumen? Yeah, Ifrit's existence in writing is... I think a lot of people dislike Ifrit specifically because of his appearance as Hakumen, where he just ended up being a completely... This happens very rarely, but happens sometimes where fucking Anvari gets his charge too early. As you saw, after 3 hours of farming, it happened finally once. I don't even know how that happened. God damn it. This is useless. I don't think he's strong enough for that. Well, let's see if he's strong enough. Alright, let's go! Red Motion, go! I'm gonna attack you. Okay, yes, alright. Let us go ahead and do this. No evasion, please. I ran out of evasion. Fuck them. I ran out of evasion. That's fucked up. This is unfair. Fuck this game. Alright. Get the fuck out of here. Aizen. Am I the asshole for canceling Valentine? He's just so hoarse like to seduce my most beloved leader, Ovion. I used to dislike Aizen, but it was mostly just because of his voice, I think. His writing was fine, honestly.
俺様のガブ引きずり込まれよ。
Emotional damage! At least Efrit got the band event to be his own character. Yeah, I'm glad they made it back. I was talking with Harvey halfway through before another stream came forth. I was gonna say, I'm glad they made viral influence exist again. Also known as puzzle dreamers in Japanese. And I hope they make more returns in the story, or any stories, be it cameos or something more important. Because that's a real cool thing to have an in-game band like that was built from a story. And it'd be a waste to just let them, die with the event they debuted in.
等しく沈め
夢のアンドバーリゾートへガチ
行こうか。ではヒュアリング、僕らの答えを出す。
俺の前からみんなが消えた。
Oh, we are at 10 o'clock, but I'm gonna go for 10 more minutes since I was doing a lot of talking in the beginning to round up the actual gameplay hours.
その人に手を出
引きずり込まれよ。ガチで
等しく沈め
俺様の
We're very close to the end though, for sure. 4 p.m. Oh, midday for you. No issue for you then. It's 10 p.m. here.
等しく沈め
So,
俺様の背をガブ
行こうか。
I usually sleep much later, but it's not a time I would prefer to stream. Some people are fucking crazy streamers and streaming for like 12 hours in a row. I know it's like full-time job, but like
俺様の背を
you don't even work for 12 hours in a row now in like your everyday kind of job.
等しく沈め
Can't wait for the mentoring club anniversary next year. It's probably gonna be Hakenshi, from what I understand, just because 8th anniversary, 8th
行こうか。
Hakenshi.
ではヒュアリング、 僕らの答え
Viral
を出す。
influencer dropped a ballad known by LifeWonders One. I'd be down, although right now they only have 2 tracks.
感想は
And they don't really have a singer, so it'll just be like an instrumental at that point, which they have released
ああな
like their album before just for their original soundtrack.
ガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ
6 hours away from you. Yep, that's right. You did the math right.
等しく沈め
俺ガブ
My audience is pretty international, so you may see my time being a bit weird.
等しく
If it was just like local, I would be more considerate to people. 7 p.m. honestly is usually me trying to be considerate to people in my
俺
timeline
様の背
or
を
my time zone,
ガブ
just in case they come out of work or something like that, and then they have time to watch the stream after. But in reality, it's like
等しく沈め
sometimes I do it at 3 p.m. here, and other times I do it at like 11 a.m. and someone's always going to be watching because people are watching from the sea regions,
俺様の
southeastern
背を
Asia.
引きず
三日月等しく沈め
Which is essentially 12 hours apart in places like the Philippines.
等しく沈め
夢のアンドガチ
行こうか。出よう。
Zhou is not here.
等しく沈
Yeah.
め
Did you hear? Zhou actually got a job recently.
指をガブ
Congrats to him. He had some hardship in his personal life. And needs to find a job
俺
ASAP.
様の背
So
を
thankfully he managed to, and his life should be stabilizing now. I'm not gonna lie, since Zhou is not here, I can admit it.
沈め
I am pretty jealous. I wish I had that kind of stability in my life. I'm
俺
currently
様
not in
の
a
背を
financially stable situation
行
whatsoever.
こうか。
Been job hunting for quite a while myself. Almost a year now. Ugh.
等しく沈め
俺様のガブ
三日月
Yeah, he's working his ass off. Wish I could work my ass off.
問題ない
I'm not working my ass off for this,
少し
but
かじったことがあっ
that's
て
just supposed to be horny. I wish I could be a prostitute. I don't know how that works.
さあガチ儲けのチャンスだぜ引きずり込まれ
But yeah,
等しく沈め
he can be an escort.
俺
I don't really know
様
enough
の背を
people
ガブ
to know how that works. That's my main issue. I have like the education, but
等しく沈
it was because of my lack of connections that I'm kind of suffering in this situation right now
俺様の背
for
を
almost a year.
ガブ
行こうか。
Some of you might know I did make a Patreon account. That was honestly out of desperation. It's not like I expected too many people to join, but I really need income
め等しく沈め
because the
俺様の背
like
を
$12 a month I'm making from Housamo from ad revenue is not cutting it for my $1,200 rent. which is pretty good for Canada, but oh god, the job market here sucks right now so badly. And I better close the stream soon. I get really depressing when I start talking about my actual IRL situation, so I'll just zip them out. There's always OnlyFans. I suppose that's true, but I'm not sure I'm confident enough to be able to do that. Because if I don't manage to succeed in that, then I just have a permanent part of my like naked slutty self on the internet that will hurt my chances for a real job even more. Say real job, but I don't even know. These supposed real jobs that I've had, like the one I had before, was felt like so pointless in society, but it was paid quite well. Honestly, it wasn't paid well. It was paid well by the hour, but I wasn't paid well month overall because I didn't work that many hours. So there was not much work to begin with. You're lucky you can be a self-employed pet sitter. Wow, that sounds like a dream job. How do you even build a client list for something like that? I've tried applying to more traditional places. Of course, there's places within my field in fucking bioinformatics of all things. But I've also tried to apply for minimum wage stuff, because that's how bad the situation is. But when it comes to freelance stuff like pet sitting, I don't even know where to begin with that, so I never really tried it. Not really. You're watching a Chihuahua Husky mix, and it's miserable dealing with neurotic mix. Puppy though! I guess. Huskies are chaotic but cool. They're cute! The customer base comes with living in a vacation town where rich people love to vacay. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't think. Toronto is a pretty big city, so pretty much everyone's rich, but everyone's also poor at the same time here. It's kind of fucked up. The only time you can ever consider yourself wealthy, to my understanding, is if you're actually in the middle high class. The middle class seems to be suffering quite a bit here, but they can't really enjoy much leisure because even though they're well paid, it's like rent and groceries have skyrocketed here as well recently. For anyone who has the travel bug or is considering moving internationally, I strongly discourage you from moving to Toronto. It's has such a horrendous housing market for one. And unless you know someone, it's gonna be impossible for you to find a job too. If worst comes to worst, try $50 or Dollar Tree. They literally take anyone. I am applying for minimum wage stuff like McDonald's and Tim Hortons and any fast food place, and I don't even get callbacks from them. That's how bad the job market here right now is. There's an extreme amount of competition because ever since the pandemic, everything moved to online, and now since they've streamlined the services to online for job applications, it's like they're getting maybe like 80 applications for even entry-level stuff. So it's like I'll never be able to compete when, you know, my competition is like international at this point. And I do mean international because it's fucking Toronto of all places, one of the most multicultural places in the world. Anyways, venting to a very dark place, I'll just stop right there because I can get extremely dark when I start talking about my life.
人間は愛からみんなが消えた。それもお前から見たら
やるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるやるや
Housamo is my only cope. For real, this is that's part of the reason why I got so deep into the videos. It's kind of just deluding myself about this shit. It's a tiny dog with a husky coat. Sounds familiar with their dog breeds. It's set off every time and go upstairs to use the bathroom. Maybe we should use the bathroom instead. Alright. Can we do one more run without using a drink? Let's see. No, we can't. Okay, you know what? We're gonna stop here. Alright, first things first, let's go ahead and use our attack seeds. And I feel like I decided on someone. Typhon, but I kind of changed my mind halfway. Was there anyone else I wanted to attack seed? I feel like there should have been. Oh yeah, Ellie, right. You know, she's already partially attack seeded for the ones. I'll wait until she's closer to finishing that. Typhon, give me that. Hemi beans. I'll take both up my ass. Or mouth. Could let it come up with you, but it's still puppy and has chewing problems. What's it gonna be chewing? It's like furniture or something? Typhon is hot. He really is hot. He's obviously my favorite viral influence member. Has the sass of a husky and the anger of Chihuahua. Didn't realize huskies had sass, but I'm familiar with Chihuahua anger. As for the attack blossoms, go ahead and toss them into Yuma. When you're hotter? Chewing stuff, it shouldn't like really sensitive within rugs. I mean, isn't that more the reason why you should take it with you so you can make sure you watch it so it doesn't chew on anything? Alright, we'll go ahead and toss these attack seeds into Automite. Attack blossoms, rather. Alright, and now we will check our final damage report. So we are finishing off with 58 million, a bit under 59. And we now have 94 drinks and 105 stamina majors. Though I do believe I actually got 2 stamina majors in the middle of the stream from redeeming it. So important to note that for myself or later when I do calculations. Probably not anytime soon though. Okay. Let's do that quick. Thank you for joining me, everyone, today. It was a laborious effort, but we managed to fully level seed 2 units, and we're making good progress with blossoming as well. This stream won't be continuing for farming until maybe next week, but even then, maybe not. I'll be a bit busy, obviously. So, tomorrow I'll be working on video making. I need to write the scripts for Quark and... Oh, not Quark. For Quantum and Masashi and Ifrit and what's it called? Fenrir. And then I'll be making the assets for them. And then I need to record them. And then I need to do the animations for them. And it's a whole thing. I'm gonna die. But yeah, I hope you make good use of the stream yourselves, whether it was good conversation or farming yourself or, you know, just say hi. But yeah, I appreciate the conversation you brought as well. Look forward to the next piece of content stream this Sunday. I will be doing a discussion with Zalgus and maybe others, but it's unconfirmed. A lot of them are saying maybe or no at this point. I don't know why. It seems they're busy in the first week of December. I will just have to make do, but it's just, you know, not too much new content anyways. Just Masashi, Quantum, some of the ARs, and some of the Mystic Christmas evos. So not too much to handle. Anyway, yeah, I'll close off the stream now. Campaigns be upon you. Have a good one, everyone.